Alright, here we are with Godbound, Evicting Epistle, Season 1, Episode 9. We're in October 2018, and to my left, we have X playing Y.
Nicole playing Thaa.
Tyler playing Mateel.
Kevin playing the Crimson Marquis.
Peter as Hazel, the goat-headed.
Mark as Lothar.
There we go. We're all here, listeners. Now, recap what happened last... Goddamn you, Peter, you're gaying up. He's gaying up, goddamn
I
you.
was betting my dice.
Recap what happened last session, gang.
We killed a breaker, and then we killed a breaker.
Was that last session? Oh, it was.
Yeah, that was
the
literally
marathon
last
session.
Yeah.
We did a couple sessions in a row.
Oh, also we kidnapped someone. Was that the first session or the second session?
You've kidnapped people, I know that.
I mean, that's normal for us.
We did the last two sessions in the same night, so they kind of blend together into one orgy of violence.
We
and
definitely killed the
arguing.
breaker. Oh, we went to the Shadowrun place to ask them for a Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Oh, right, and then we decided we weren't going to do that, or we were just kind of like, well, that was fun, let's go do something else. Completely unrelated.
We found out what was making all of Azazel's children sick.
Oh, yeah, their horrible lifestyle.
The unholy abomination of the
To
two
the point where
Godbounds.
their organs rebelled.
And we have a new clan. The Shitlex.
That is not what we're calling them.
It totally is.
The sewer vampires. Just close your lid after you're done pissing the toilet.
They might just be the nameless clan. Like, I'm not going to name them. Look at them.
We don't want to speak
My
of them.
shame.
The unspeakable ones.
They're wearing tank tops and they're tanks.
So yeah, that's what we did. We killed things. And also made things.
They're his #2 clan.
Just wait until they boost their fertility.
That ain't happening.
Plop, 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 plop.
Enjoy your sterility plague.
Strychnine? Maybe closer than you think. So, we ended the session with you guys kind of just hanging out, I think, right? Nothing big was happening.
We
Took that
just
break
killed
back.
the bird.
You killed the bird and you dealt with a
Rainbows.
rainbow field.
Yes.
That's not a breaker. That's a hellboard.
Yes. We salted that plane.
That
Yeah.
thing was very strange.
Yeah, watch out for rainbows. They are not your friends and they are hungry.
Don't trust the rainbows, motherfucker.
Break for rainbows.
Yeah. So, you guys are back in Dark City.
Well,
Oh my god, Nicole, you little chirps. I'm gonna use the hundreds of hours of footage we have and make a compilation video. Okay? Yeah, I'll like sync it up to like Mario. I'll find a ROM of Mario music and like replacing the sounds with different levels of your chirps. It'll be like Mario, be like, but it'll be like all your chirps.
So the Marquis goes off on his own to build a factory in the industrial district.
For the monsters?
For something, yeah. The monster.
Oh, right, you're doing a project. Of course. Bye, have a beautiful time. A lot of the companions in the companion restaurant tower just kind of watch as you walk away. Waving, waiting, being engaged physically, so they can demonstrate their value.
He kind of waves over his shoulder to, Thaa and Lothar and Mattiel and Azazel, and then,
Yan.
who's Yan?
What the fuck's a noob?
Who's Yan? Marquis doesn't know this person.
Lothar is flying over the
we took
city
her on
with
an
the giant
adventure with
bird
Faust.
to his various cults, explaining the upcoming burdening.
Oh, right, where they're just gonna like
Can't call
explode.
it that.
That's right, because it would just be the burdening. Sorry, the birdemic.
The Great Change. Yeah. Alright, you're out of the city for a bit. What are you up to, Zazel?
Well, I think he's consulting his blasphemous codex and the information.
Oh yeah, that's online.
Yeah. That and the information he got from the Shadowrun community about how to infuse his broodlings with dragon powers and such.
Yeah, no, you can totally build a machine that can help that.
Yep.
It'll like milk your dragon power out of yourself into like a technology that you can inject them with.
Dragon milk.
Yes, milk me. Milk me.
You don't go in your
Got the
life.
fertility.
Uncomfortable.
This game went places already. Every game we just get worse and worse. It's like a picture of Dorian Gray.
I'm
You look back at-
Well,
sorry.
there's some other like gaming group out there with a podcast that
Congenials.
just gets like super good.
The Congenials, where they're all noble and pure.
The game where the good boy exists.
Okay, so you're off doing that. All right. What is the Netail up to?
Probably. Like, what I want to do isn't in the city.
Doesn't mean you can go and do that.
Pardon?
You can go and do that. I mean, it's kind of downtime for all of us, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm finding the city a little claustrophobic, so I'm gonna get on the kitten.
The Marquis isn't like keeping you in the city under house arrest when there's downtime. He's
No,
not,
I know.
it's
I'm
not
just
like
saying.
guards
Like,
at the
I'm not
doors.
just gonna go off by myself and try to fight like a fucking breaker or whatever.
Oh,
Well, what is it you want to do?
I want to get rid of all the resistance in the north.
So you're preparing an army. Worthy of Gondor.
The only other thing I might want to be doing is figuring out how to make my wireless soul collector, but
You'll need to reach out to something for that.
You need to get a quest.
like what?
Your adorable little son.
Oh yeah, you can go to your son again.
How do you
Or-
come up with that?
I don't know. He might be able to. He's a contact you have. Or you could go to the Unity faction, who literally were there when it was built and have parts of it in their infrastructure.
No. Oh, right. It did have a wireless soul collector.
That's what it was built into. That's where your project came from that you're riffing on. This isn't your idea. You're stealing it.
I knew I was still in the Genesis project. I just
The
forgot.
Genesis
that-
project was the Unity Tower.
I forgot that the wireless part was also that.
It was all of it. You're just stealing from a previous Superman and making it instead of Elven
made
focused. I made
this.
Yeah, it's just instead of it rebuilding the Elven race after the acid genocide, you're rebuilding the Eastern Thaa society.
Okay.
Yeah, just go to Sector 00 and hang out with them.
How much do they hate me?
I don't hate you. You're the nemesis. You're fun.
Okay. I'm gonna want to do that then.
Yeah, they I don't know, they like you as much as people like
It's like in the wrestling we
Dan
have.
DeVito or Michael Vick or something.
Michael Vick?
I mean, he fought dogs, but people still give him like football scholarships and stuff.
I don't think that's true.
No, he makes a lot of money, Michael Vick. He's good. No one cared about the dog thing.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't get football scholarships.
Yeah, no, all sorts. Same with OJ. OJ still gets those scholarships too.
Do you know what a scholarship is, Devin?
I know what a scholarship is, Nicole.
He went to a
I
public
went
school.
to I went to Catholic school in Ontario. I learned these things.
So yeah, you're like the evil wrestler or whatever. They won't just
The
off you like
heel.
that. Yeah.
The heel, yes, that's a very good analogy.
Yep.
People love a good heel. Like when you threw Mankind through the cage in Hell in a Cell '98.
With God as my witness, mankind is broken in.
Right?
What?
Okay, so Mateo,
I'm gonna get on the kitten and fly around to Derico and the bat colony. Just kind of check in on things.
all right, we'll zoom in vignette style then. All right, who should I start with? Why don't we start in the city and then move outwards? So, you're in your factory.
Okay.
Giant facility, you have your project in the middle, the tanks and the cybernetics and the necrovats and stuff.
Yeah, all the bits and pieces in barrels and crates from the battlefield.
Yeah, the camera's locked in on your perspective for the scene. Do I have better music? I totally do. Oh my god, Nicole, it's so good.
I think chips make it happen more.
I'm gonna buy you a lot
I've
of
been fucking
chips.
hiccuping all over the place today.
Alright. Camera's locked in on you, there's a tank, and there's like a recessed area, and light's coming off of it, and you're in shadow and dark, vampire style.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well lit. Alright, I guess you have technicians, probably, vampire technicians.
Yeah, they're hooking in pipes that are pumping in like necro air, basically like necrotized air that's helping to with this process.
Necrotox.
Yeah. There's wires, like glowing wires trailing inside, all leading up to this central mass that they're building off of.
There's a hissing noise from one of your, vampire technicians. Sir, he says in his black leather lab coat with goggles.
Yes.
We're ready to bring the unit online.
Excellent.
If you would provide your divine vitae to the process. And he brings up like a small little pedestal with like a tube on it, and it's like a little thumbprint thing with a spike.
Yeah, the Marquis raises his hand into the air, brings out a ceremonial knife, draws it across his palm, then clenches a fist.
it starts going through. There's pumping and people are chanting. There are pipe organs everywhere. People are slamming their hands into their fists and banging like instruments and stuff. And there's a rumbling in the facility as like, you know, the little like rumblers you put under it to make it dramatic start going off.
Yes.
Alright, small glow from the area, like where the project is. I think, Master.
Excellent. Your designation is Necron 4. How do you feel?
What? I feel that I must know my purpose.
Your purpose is to know our enemies, our friends, better than they do. We need to know about them before they know about us. Know all.
It shall be done. And like there's just pulsating like in shadowed brain matter pumping up and down with liquid squirting out of it and like large spinning gears and meat and stuff. Well, that's online.
Excellent.
I love how dramatic it was too, because there was this like a little thing you could have just been like, boop, and it would have spiked your thumb and got a little bit of blood, and you're like, no, ceremonial knives and shit. You're
Your
just
blood's
like-
not even blood, it's like a thick syrupy goo. It's vitae.
Yes.
You're a first generation vampire. You were sired by Cain.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
second generation,
He's the
yeah.
equivalent.
They just argue. Don't
I was
even.
cursed by
At
God
this point, he's practically
directly.
Cain. He's the first vampire now.
You just say that now. It's like I was cursed by God. Were
Yeah.
you? Did Hal curse you to be a vampire? Were you a Winterborn mask? Who can
I
say?
can say. I'm wacky like that.
Simoon too. She was. Oh, you might be a Simoonite vampire. A Hunnifer.
Maybe.
Well,
It's a thing.
I just cast invisibility on my back half.
He doesn't credit
Back half?
anyone with
She
his
had
creation.
like male centaur dudes as like her guys.
She did.
Yeah.
She did have male centaur dudes. They were little like fairy centaur vampire monster men. Those have been largely stricken from canon because they were stupid.
Good.
She didn't have giant stallion men with horse heads hanging around. That just seems gauche.
that sounds overly complicated.
Simoon was not a horse girl. Not like a half horse, half woman. Like a girl who like spent a lot of time at her ranch, spent a lot of money on horses, and was crazy. She wasn't one of them. Well, Necron 4 is online and it's starting to imagine.
Excellent.
Exactly as you created to imagine.
So, like, describe it for the listeners. What is this thing?
Oh, we'll get to it when the unveiling happens.
Okay.
You guys get
I
this.
thought you said when the invasion happened. I'm like, uh-oh.
Soon.
Kevin, we talked about this. I thought we were bros.
You stupid bitch, I'm a traitor! I asked Devin if I could betray the party and he said you all consented.
Oh, Ian 2.0.
Fucking lord.
Ian?
No, not kind of, but like more that worked. That actually worked. In
Oh, the Prince of the Universe finale. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Nice.
Who else was in the city doing stuff?
I guess I am.
With the Monsters Codex?
Yeah.
Perfect, let's cut to that. Oh my god, do I have anything that isn't this slide? Alright, you're in your junkyard, which I have to say, listeners, is not me being flip. That is literally where Azazel lives, in a trash yard.
That's where all his stuff fits.
Yep,
got
because he's
so
a
much.
goddamn hoarder. Alright, so you're working on your project, making your new technology for your broodlings.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing, boss? Boss, what are you doing? They're all with their backwards baseball caps and their Monster Energy drinks. Could you get me one of my monsters, by the way, please? The orange one? Thank you. I need that extra kick of chaos flavor to keep the night going, bro.
Devon is thirsty.
You want the black one?
The orange one. Please and thank you.
Orange monsters.
The can texture's even creepy and shit. It's all weird. It's bad marketing. It's bad drink. It's bad content.
It's actually fantastic marketing. It's really popular. It's just not marketing we really care for. But it is good marketing.
This episode brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
I mean, not no.
What are you looking
Send
at?
us
bitch?
money!
I'm looking for like a knife or something to open the can.
We don't have knives on our fucking
No.
kitchen table.
Wait,
Oh,
no.
we
There we
kinda
go. Double knife.
do. We kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, those are called
Stop
scissors, but
Yeah, it's a double knife.
Took one of us driving him to the hospital.
oh my god.
Are you having a stroke?
It
Devon?
happens again.
Do not cut your fucking thumb open on a can again.
Again.
Well, at least you're not drinking bleach.
There's a lot of stories about leaving in town. Oh man, that tastes pretty good. It's orange. It tastes like orange, guys. Okay.
The color or the fruit?
The color. The color. Alright, so you're working on your dragon essence machine, which I imagine is like a giant vat with like spinners in it that'll like spin you around and like knock all of your loose skin cells and juices out of you. Not in a murder way, just in a gross way. And you'll get out and it'll like boil it down to like the essence that you'll like then inject into your dudes, right?
I was 100% picturing a milking machine.
I mean, we're not no.
From an industrial like
maybe if we make
full,
like
full
a
yeah.
maybe like how White Wolf had the black dog label for like the really bad stuff. We'll have like sponsored by what's the name of that network that did softcore porn in Canada? Shaw?
Showcase.
Yeah, sponsored by Showcase. The Showcase collection.
Fucking Lord.
That's right, I'm Azazel. Milk me, followers. Milk me. And it's like, oh no. This can't show
Drink
up.
my milk.
We're gonna strip this from the Holy Bible of Azazel.
This won't make it into the kids' version of the Bible about Noah's Ark.
I mean...
And thus it was written in the book of Nope. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing happened this day.
No
Alright, you got your essence collector and then your essence distiller, and then you'll just like your worshippers will just like take stuff from this and they'll make them dragon men.
Yep.
Or maybe you're making an Adam and Eve that'll eat all your other worshippers and propagate. I don't know, how do you want to play this, Pete?
Well, I think people don't like it when I eat children, so if
It's unreasonable of them.
So if I made something that ate everything else, that would also be bad. So I guess it would be just infusing them, the already existing ones.
You can do the Prestige.
Prestige?
Where there's a tank where the guy goes in on one end, a sheet goes over them, and then they're in the other tank, and it's a mystery of how they got there. But in reality, you're cloning yourself every time. So the guy that goes in the first tank is already dead, and then a perfectly new enhanced clone comes out of the other tank.
That's just murder with a lot of extra steps.
I mean, the movie was very complicated. David Bowie was in it as Tesla. The Prestige, the movie?
What?
It's about cloning and serial killer twins. And David Bowie.
Magician feud.
Yeah. David Bowie fist fights the Wizard of Winslow Park.
You're just slurring
Thomas
at
Edison.
this point.
That's his name. The Wizard of Menlo Park.
They'll say,
Ollie the
Topsy
elephant.
at my-
Topsy. Exactly. Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park. So
So I think I'll go with
I think you have your prestige machine where like a perfectly healthy goat broodling goes into the tank, gets hit by lightning to show that it's transforming, and then the other tank screen opens up to show that there's like a dragon broodling in there. But in reality, you kill the old broodling and use the matter in its parts and organs to make a new one.
I can know how this works. That's technology. I'm an artificer.
I'm morally not culpable.
Honestly, I'm more picturing like The Fly, where one of them opens and something comes out, and the other one there's like slurry everywhere.
A telepod?
Yeah, basically.
Well, it could look like a telepod too. Sure, it's all of these things. You have a series of rows of telepods with a mate pod on the other side. People go in and they come out dragon broodlings. They're being transformed into dragon broodlings. No, they're not. It's a Star Trek transporter problem.
Also, like, he's intentionally, like, it's Azazel, so he's got, like, his removal system leaves, like, piles of blood and gore.
The telepods are the points on a pentagram. It's like a pentagram on the ground. Like they're pentagram arranged telepods.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Sure.
So wait, why are you doing this?
So we can have dragon broodlings.
So I can make something that's blatantly impossible to have really, really strong minions. So I can bring a vast mob of them to just annihilate everything.
No, I mean, like, why are you killing people?
He's got to upgrade them.
It's fun.
Because I'm upgrading them.
It's literally just flavor, and these things die by
Yeah.
the dozen anyway, so,
Because
Movies
Devon
were
wanted
born.
to make it even grosser and even more murdery.
You know what? I didn't want to make it grosser and murdery. I made it less gross and murdery than milking you. And force-feeding the milk to your children. Which should get you arrested. Someone should have made the RoboCop Godbound. I don't know why they didn't.
I mean,
Someone wanted
I'm
to.
kind of in another game.
You are playing Judge Dredd RoboCop in another game.
Which game is this?
The game you're in,
one.
Exalted.
Okay.
The one good cop in the city.
Well, that's Cop and Robocop.
RoboCop was half cop, half robot. At least 50% of them was cop.
Yeah, this is half cop, half alligator. Or crocodile.
No, he's a
Thematically,
full-on
I am.
alligator who is a half robot, half cop.
You don't have to know that.
No,
Not yet.
besides that, that's not the way it goes. In the trailer, it would be half robot, half alligator.
No, I wouldn't talk about
cop.
the alligator part because in the setting, alligator people are different. It'd be like if you said Dolomite's like half hero, half black man. That's just not how it works. Dolomite, from context, is a black. You know, it's not important. It's not important who Dolomite
It's
is
exalted.
You
in
said it, and
2018.
I thought that you said Daxamite, and I was very confused.
What's the Daxamite?
Okay,
It's
maybe
like the
it's
sister planet
God
to
damn it.
Krypton.
We're getting in the weeds here. They're just like Kryptonians under a yellow sun. They're strong and can jump, and they're like version 1 Superman, but they have an allergy to lead, so bullets really hurt them.
I feel like Gonk should be playing.
I know, right? Not the sad melancholy music.
And like,
Wait, I actually have music for this.
Yeah.
Weirdo music.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the dun dun.
No, it's not the gonk. It's not the gonk.
They're gonna for other things.
It'd be like if Luke Cage was like half mutant, half black guy. They wouldn't say that in the trailer for Luke Cage. They're not going to say half cop, half lizard man in a world with lizard people. That's just exploitative.
So yeah, we have an overly complicated Goldberg
You have
machine.
your pentagram. It's not even complicated. Pentagram telepods. People go in and die. Dragon people come out.
Sure.
Are all of your broodlings dudes?
No?
Okay. I just imagine them all with dudes. That's dudes.
me too. Me too.
Because they're billy goats.
Yeah?
They're not like I guess you could say like Billy Joel, you know, holding out for a hero, but
I just picture they're all exactly the
What?
same, even though they have different genders. They're just
oh, Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire. Still a guy though. Billy Piper, the Doctor's companion.
Billie Jean?
I don't know who Billy Jeans are.
Fucking the famous Michael Jackson song, you whore!
Was that Thriller or Smooth Criminal? Those are the only 2 Michael Jackson songs I know.
I'm disgusted with you.
I'm sorry, I just, okay, I know Beat It because, Michael Jackson's father, but still.
yeah, Azazel.
Off the
Milking
rails,
didn't
off the
happen.
rails!
It didn't happen, thankfully. So, whatever happened, whatever nebulous thing happened, was better than Azazel being milked on screen in a 15-minute scene that really didn't need to happen.
And we just added that in to get the R rating. It's a hard market to get the R rating these days.
Why are our fans so weird now?
Yeah.
It's all your fault,
I
guys.
can't tell if this is a bit or if this is just who we are now.
We've been doing this for too long.
Anyway, you have your telepods. While this is happening, and your billy goats are coming out swollen dragon looking like a DeviantArt page. Or Fur Affinity OC. And just
It's
add
a
the dragon
scaly.
in. Yeah, scaly. A star falls out of the sky
Oh.
into one of your trash piles.
Oh, I guess it's mine.
Makes a large explosion.
Well, while that's going, I guess I'll check what I just got in my
Like,
thing.
the guys are like all lined up, like they're crushing cans against their head, then chewing on the cans, then like flexing in their mesh muscle shirts, be like, I'm gonna be such a big dragon boy, it's gonna be great. Yeah. You're like, yeah, that's great, guys. I'm gonna go check out this meteor and eat it. They do all wear mesh short sleeve tank tops.
They're literally the worst.
I love these guys.
Well, just like Chad in the vampire game.
Yeah.
Werewolf game.
They all have puka necklaces on, made of teeth and stuff.
So, the star.
Oh yeah, there's a big crater in the ground covered in fire right now.
Nice.
What do you want to do with the fire? Can you immune to fire damage?
Throw your goats onto it until it extinguishes.
I guess I'll just throw some garbage on it till it's...
Yeah, artifice just be like.
Yeah.
All right, you plug the hole with trash.
And excavate it. Once it stops smoldering.
All right, there is a giant, and it's shaped like a jigsaw puzzle piece. Piece of black porous stone on the ground,
Oh.
and it's like all reflective and shiny.
What's this?
Well, you're an artificer, right?
Yeah?
And you're smart and shit.
Sort of.
It's a piece of sky.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Ah.
It's a piece of the sky. Sometimes it comes loose and falls down here. It's like it has a puzzle piece shape to it, like the little divots and things on it. Literally like a puzzle.
Nice. Well, I guess this goes in the pile.
I'm keeping it. It would count as adamant.
Hmm.
Also, parts of it have kind of... It looks like it was hollow, and like bits of the middle have kind of like fallen out of it.
Well, I can always take the files and ask him about this.
Yeah, there you go. He like, put it back. Like, plugs it back in. Put some super glue on it.
Hey, I think something broke in your thing.
Yeah, things are crawling away from the hole.
Oh, what things?
From the middle of the puzzle piece.
Oh, what's crawling out?
Yeah, you can probably catch it. You're fast enough. You're a dragon, right?
Yeah.
You're big and strong. All right. It is a small porous rock that's black and shiny, just like the puzzle piece it fell out of. But when it's moving, it has like crab claw legs and like little like feeder bits, kind of like a crab or large spider that just kind of skitters away and like goes still when people get near it.
Oh.
You know, moon rocks.
I eat like one of them.
Oh, it's undead. Super undead.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can bring one to Marquis in case he wants to make something out of this.
Yeah, you can do like a taste test analysis and stuff if you want. You're
Just
what?
licks it.
Artifice, dragon, and fertility?
Yeah.
Hey, your fertility.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's another one over there. They're vampires.
Oh.
Moon vampires.
No.
I didn't do it.
It came from the moon.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's a few others skittering about if you want to catch them. They'll like go still as soon as you get near them and become rocks.
I'll take a few.
Yeah, all right. You just put them in a case somewhere.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh no.
I just remembered the movie.
Yeah, that's what I took it from.
That was a really scary movie. Well, it wasn't really, but it was a scary movie.
It's a good movie. Should watch it. We were watching found footage horror movies. They're real good. The genre has really come into its own in the last 10 years.
I don't know what movie you're referencing, but the only
I don't know
thing
what it's called.
I have for Vampires from the Moon is like the Strix from the
Oh, that I was
Chronicles of
the
Darkness.
Destiny. That
It's
wizard
Apollo
came
55
from the moon.
or whatever.
Ah.
What's the movie called?
Apollo 55 or something.
Probably 11.
It's not important. Anyway, that was the problem from Kevin creating the Dark City. It's a magnet for meteors.
Neat.
Yeah, the weight of your negative energy vampiricism, like Death Lord status, attracts space vampires into your orbit.
Fun.
You're just one of those undead that brings other things into it because you're a sinkhole of evil.
You're like the god of undeadness.
He's
That
literally the
makes
god of
sense.
vampires.
Yeah, that makes
His word is vampire god. So you're a sinkhole for them. They get attracted to you.
I have no problem
Feed
with
me
this.
your Vitae, master. I want to grow strong.
I'm going to use my celerity to perform a bunch of actions at once. And you're like, no, we don't do that anymore.
I want to suckle on your tit.
No, we don't do that anymore.
This is really-
Bardo!
This is definitely going to become one of those cities.
Bardo!
This is definitely going to become one of those cities where you don't want to go down the alleys at night if you like don't live here. Just like I'm staying for the night. I'm going to go into this weird alley that nobody else seems to be going into.
It's like our stores are selling, some garlic ointments. You could just pull it out of yourself, like sunscreen.
Why is this so lardy? Alright, so that was that problem I generated from your Dominion changes.
I'm glad you keep having to deal with the fallout of my changes.
It's becoming a thing now where Azazel and you are trading problems.
Looking forward to dealing with my swole broodling problems.
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so goddamn ready for that.
It's easy to make problems into,
They're
bonuses for me.
They're
A
shooting
little
sun
imagination.
rainbows.
Yeah, when you're coming back like with your little rock collection in a chest that you're gonna like, I don't know, put away and not look at anymore or something. I don't know how you work. Make sure it's locked or not. It doesn't matter. Yeah, a bunch of them are coming out. They're all like, they have like dragon heads. Some of them have like, big cat eyes. They're all like big claws. They have wings on some of them that don't work because, they're too big for that.
Perfect.
Hey, boss!
Yes.
Look how buff I am!
You are buff.
He starts like coughing and starts throwing up whatever he was eating, but it's like scrap metal mixed in with it. It's like damaging the ground. He's spelling stuff out with it. Wicked!
Cool.
I'm gonna have to have a curfew for these guys. They're so fucking gross.
You need a part of the city specifically for them.
Yeah, they can stay there.
They're allowed outside between 2 and 3.
Nobody else has to see them.
It's when they graze. It's like, what do they graze on? And like it's them like knocking over liquor stores. It's like we set up liquor stores that they
What's
rob.
that big wall in the city for? Oh, that's Goat Town. No
That's the
one ever-
Darklands, my child.
No
Never
one
go
ever
there.
goes to Goat Town.
We don't talk about Goat Town.
That's where the goats live, and that's also where the CDI Legend of Zeldas live.
You get weird tattoos and piercings and everything else.
You did it, though. You guys are super strong. They have breath weapons, like minor ones for their attack. They're just like in each other's faces. They start like lifting up trash and like breaking over their knee and stuff.
Yep.
Where's the map for this game?
It's somewhere. It's on the website.
It's somewhere pinned, probably.
Yeah, go to the website. Oh yeah, Pam. I remember Pam. Pam's great.
I love how fucking non sequitur that was.
I've seen the GIF now. The GIF. Okay, so who else is in the city?
I don't think anyone is.
Okay, who was closest? You were hanging out with your tribes. You're going to hang out in Sector 00. So you're going to Jericho.
Jericho and Battown.
Perfect. Wait, Battown? Battown. Right. I thought you were going to the desert. The desert. Are you going to the desert at all?
No,
that was
I'm
another
not.
city you guys said.
No, I'm not going to the desert.
Fuck those people. That's fair. That's what I believe too.
I might visit next time.
All right. You get on the kitten. You take off. As you're leaving, you see something fall out of like the top of the sky and hit nearby and make a small, kind of quiet noise of like light and stuff. It's pretty far away. It was like a localized crater, but it was in Azazel's part of the city, so he probably has it handled. He was working there.
Okay, I'm sure you can deal with it.
Yeah. Who are you bringing with you? Bringing guys?
Yeah, I'll bring Rufio and I'll bring Yan.
Rufio and who?
Yeah.
Yan?
Yan.
Yan, okay. Yan's there. He's like a bunch of he's a bunch of butterflies, and like instead of being like bright yellow or blue or whatever butterflies now they have like little like skull moth faces on them.
They always did.
Oh, they always did. So we're good. He still has those. So it's just like a cloud of butterflies with a scythe that they're all holding up. Appears next to you. Oh. Hello. What are we doing?
We're gonna go and visit some of the nearby settlements. I was actually hoping that you could help me out with this a bit. I'm not always going to be around to kind of keep an eye on things and sort of handle day-to-day scenarios as they come up. So it would be nice to have someone who I can rely on and trust to oversee affairs.
It's the butterfly wings for a face.
I thought you just playing peekaboo.
Huh. Okay. What should I be doing then? Like, how do I do that?
Well, for now, just tag along and observe.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that then, God.
All right, let's go.
Rufio's super pumped. So, how does Rufio talk? Is Rufio boisterous? Is he Rufio?
I kind of picture him like looking and talking like the Man in Black from Princess Bride.
Was that the pirate who's like, I'm the Dread Pirate Roberts?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember that movie. I've only seen it like twice. Like, I know the gist. I don't remember
Just
how
a
he
British swashbuckler guy.
Devin's like
I was just gonna do Zuko. I was gonna default straight to Zuko.
You can just fall straight to Zuko. Zuko would be fine.
Because Rufio was Dante Bosco.
Yeah.
Wacky voices first.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go with Zuko.
Okay. And what should I be doing on this mission? Wait, no, he's excited about something. When are we having the new vessel ready, Master?
I don't know. We'll have to. First of all, don't call me master. It's weird.
Sensei? That's a word that Yan taught me. It's from one of the cultures far west of here.
I wouldn't really stand on
Captain?
Captain.
Admiral, though, probably.
I guess it is Admiral now because you'll be filling in as captain.
All right. When are we getting the new vessel? The warship?
We'll be looking into that soon.
Okay. Some of these missions have been getting very dangerous, and I don't think the crew. I think it's best if the crew is given more protection between journeys.
What do you mean?
This vessel keeps getting attacked every time we venture out, and it seems to be a target more than it is a staging point.
Well, we're looking at upgrading very shortly, so hopefully that should address that problem.
A wise move. I don't know what Dr. Roscoe sounds like. I'm trying to do a Zuko, but not one that's totally fucking crazy. I didn't think it through. When Zuko's not fucking crazy, he just sounds like a guy.
He sounds like a dude, yeah.
That's rough, buddy.
He sounds like a man.
My bad. I fucked it up. It's all good. Anyway, you get on the Furious Kitten, and you start heading towards Dericho.
Yeah.
Sure, we can start with that.
You want to start with Dericho, or do you want to start with Bat City?
Let's start with Dericho and then end at Bat City.
Perfect. You can pronounce it either way, by the way. That's the fun of the name. Dericho or Dericho, both are valid.
Okay.
So if you see me mispronouncing it, I'm not correcting anyone. I'm just pronouncing it differently for fun.
Just to be contrarian.
No, I was pronounced both ways across like 5 different games. They flip-flopped all the time, constantly.
Same with the spelling for
Nocturnus.
Nocturnus.
Lot of that going on. People would just passive-aggressively change to the pronunciation and spelling of different cities. Alright.
Aggressively passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Petty.
So the Furious Kitten takes some time to head to where the Dericho silo was. And as you crest the quote-unquote horizon, are you going there during the day or during night?
Well, let's go during the day.
Okay. Well, as you crest the horizon part, because the lands are higher and lower and shit, the silo has been covered with a city.
Great.
It's a plate with like energy underneath, like pushing it off the ground. The silo is underneath, but there's like large, thick tubes of concrete and stuff plugged into it, powering it. And smaller silos are being excavated around it. And yeah, it's just hovering maybe 100 stories off the ground. Not very high, for city size. What?
They did it.
Yeah, they're doing what they're doing. But there's this big missile silo-sized umbilical cord connected to it. The design for Dericho's city is it's a bowl that floats on a plate, and the buildings themselves curve inward like scimitars, with like gaps in the middle of them, where like stuff is hanging, like large signs or large art installations, or like they look like wind chimes or propellers that are like being turned, but they go longwise.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're all mirrored and reflective as well. So like if you see clouds up on the sky, there are clouds reflected on it, and it almost becomes invisible-ish.
So how's the sinkhole of evil?
Oh yeah, they've moved away from that. The sinkhole of evil is nearby, and the ground is actually kind of mulched inward, and it's bubbling, and there's like pits of acid, and there's like entire herds of animals that like run into it and like get melted in there and are strewn about. It's just covered in corpses.
We didn't deal with that?
We totally did not.
Well, they dealt with it.
By moving away.
Yeah.
What? We should deal with that.
Worry about it. It's a sinkhole of evil. They happen. Eventually, it'll go bad and fester and pop, and then once you leach out all the bad in it, it'll be fine. Ish. Plus, there'll be plenty of metal to mine from it.
I'll find a use for blood iron, and then we won't have to deal with
Oh,
that.
there's plenty of uses for blood iron. Don't you worry. You know a lot about blood work.
1,000 uses for blood iron.
Pardon?
1,000 uses for blood iron.
Yeah.
Like peanuts.
Use 1. Weapons. Evil weapons.
Oh, yes.
Unholy swords.
I'm going to need a lot of ammunition when I make ranged weaponry, so...
What's the opposite word of Avenger? Tyrant? What's the word for like when you enslave someone? Despoil? Like when someone comes in like...
Conqueror.
Yeah, instead of holy avengers, it's unholy conquerors. Bastard swords.
For when I
Because
make my
they're bastards.
anti-paladins.
Yeah, there's just fields and fields of dead animals and like melting buildings and stuff in it.
It's just gonna make it worse.
But that's what happened. The city is not. That's not the highlight here. The city is trying to put on for its tourism. It's a giant gleaming chrome city that the buildings look like they're like dream catchers and turbines and spinning wind chimes, and it looks like it's cloudy. Like when you look down on the plate that the city's built on, it actually looks like the sky. Like there's clouds passing, it's cerulean blue, and there's a giant bright sun in the middle of it. So like when you're walking across the streets, it's like you're walking on the sky.
Though with Lothar's, my cult's got a tourist thing there too. It's one of the
Oh, yeah,
famous
you
ones.
guys all have churches there. Like not consecrated churches like Peter's. I was just saying that. But yeah, no, you guys are all represented here. Not equally. Not equal. It's not equal. It's separate, but it's not equal.
Someone did an actual change here.
Yeah. There are statues of you everywhere. Like some of the buildings with that scimitar carved design, like the inside of the blade has like your face and body carved into it, like the mast of a ship. There are statues of you everywhere. Like there's large Batman the Animated Series style Gotham, like, you know, Atlas shrugged statues holding up the world built into the buildings, but it's you, like all big and pecked out and stuff.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Well,
Yeah, the kitten's getting like, you know, calls and stuff going through, and like the cat, you know, the crew's mapping it, and they're like, "Oh, you're coming in. Of course, you have access. You know, dock here."
A royal welcome.
So yeah, you can dock at one of the landing bays.
okay. We'll take it in and dock.
Yeah, people come out to greet you. A lot more sheep people here than there were before. A lot more. Like some of the people were used to be like hands and sludge and monsters and stuff, or like coughing from Pokemon in like flesh form. Now it's a lot more sheep people. Still covered in cybernetics, but they're not like all crude or like dark purple magitech. Now they're shiny and chrome. A lot of people have brass fitted wings on them, or like small turbines coming out of them that makes them look like almost like, you know, blimp engines and shit.
Okay.
They're not coming out to like cheer. Everyone's clapping.
I'll go out. I'll say hello and just kind of try and greet everyone. I'm going to speak exclusively through dance.
Very good. Oh yeah, no, people are dancing. There's dancing all over. This whole city dances once it's done.
But yeah, I'll just try and talk to people, get a feel for what's going on, how they're doing, if they have any concerns.
It's been pretty good. It's been a lot of development cycles since the last time you were here with the, you know, troll thing. Yeah. Not the troll thing, the mammoth thing. Because, listeners, this is probably a good time to introduce this idea. Time passes differently for the gods than it does for, you know, mortal people. Because the Dark City doesn't have any knowledge of how time is passing, and you guys are immortal and stuff. So, what feels like a few days for you is actually longer for them. It's a whole thing we'll get into. So, you know, only it's been a few, maybe a week or so, like, of hard concentration from your effort, but from their perspective, it's been a few generations. And in that time, they've taken all the stuff out of storage and started to lift up the city. Lobotobringer is there. He's retired. He's no longer master of the council. Yeah. He's like in a crippled kind of like float chair with like wires and stuff going to him.
Oh, it's good to see you again.
Hello, God. It is I, Lobotobringer. I no longer can dance. This form is withering.
It's fine. I understand. We all have our limitations.
Yes, version 2 will be much more robust. And many, many legs.
No, you have a clone coming out?
Oh, I wouldn't call it a clone. We don't wanna pull that thread, but we have somewhere for me to go. A lot of legs. We call it the Senti Man.
Interesting.
It's like he like gives you like vague sketches of like a centipede, but it's like a man centipede with like hundreds of legs, and it's like he'll dance.
Yes, so looking forward to seeing that on the dance floor.
Yes. We dug it up from one of our older designs that just wasn't worth it at the time, but you know, dance is back in vogue, and you know, because you're God. Yeah. Hey, we have some issues we'd love for you to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll gesture at Yan to kind of come in.
Butterflies, and person with a scythe. Oh, that's neat. Where'd you find that?
Oh, we met him while out adventuring, and he's going to be digging point for me. So if there's ever a time where you need something, or you have concerns, or issues to be addressed, and I'm not around, you can talk to Yan.
Lobotobringer is licking his frog lips with his frog tongue at the massive butterflies that you're pointing as like his touch man.
Every time he comes back, he's just like missing a limb. It's like, don't worry, they breathe fast. It's okay, God, I understand.
It's okay, God. Butterflies only live a few months anyway.
You only hear the fuck.
Well, nice to meet you, man. Oh, yeah, nice to meet you, too. Our voices are so distinct. Yes, as is our manner of speech.
Fucking Lord.
It's great that that's just a thing that happens in our world. Yeah. So, God, and, he he's kind of in the Admiral Pike chair, where like his face is all paralyzed and scarred up, and he has like the one light thing that he just hits. He just kind of gestures and moves, rolling around on the hover bit. So as we've expanded the city and we're bringing the first flight plate online, we had to reach out to some older allies that we had. One of them, of course, being the JAC. We had members of the JAC that had left and come back, and we kept in good touch with. The Sky Masters were one of them. We were able to bring them in. We lost some of our specialists in the travel back.
I see.
Now, that actually worked out pretty well for us because the hive that we got in contact with was able to reach out and do some favor trading with one of their hives, the Pleasant Shapers, and we were able to bring back the entire stock of, of the guy gestures at you with his crippled hands that kind of flop, you. And he's like gesturing all the goat people that are walking around. So a lot of our members chose to realign their physical forms with the fawn archetype from the fawn clade.
It's a good archetype.
Oh, it is. It was very popular back in the day. Some would say it was overly unbalanced in PvP, but there was like a queue you had to get permission for it and stuff. We took care of that though. The queues aren't really there anymore. We don't have to worry about like people submitting tickets or having to level up their primaries anymore. So it's pretty much a free for all.
Okay. Whenever the future speak really starts, I just kind of like glaze over a little bit.
Yeah, Derecho, it's a video game. For Derecho, it's a video game. For the Shadowrun people, it's a strategy game. It's an MMO for them. Well, we were able to bring it back online. Is what's important, especially because we don't have, the Nemesis here. And when he says Nemesis, he uses a different word than Thaa.
Okay.
It's a different Nemesis.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't exist yet, so we can just bring this clade back and it works.
Oh, right.
Who is this Nemesis?
A Hell Lord, like Texomalus, but so the goat people, like you, a fawn, like you, not like Azazel. Azazel's something else entirely.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very unbalanced. Very
Different kind of goat.
Fawn just used to be a type of people, and he names a bunch of races and clades and genetic origins you don't understand. They used to be common just like them, but one of their members became a Hell Lord, and she was a real bitch, and she cursed the entire origin of those people to not be able to interbreed anymore, so they can only breed with other people, so it would wipe them out entirely. And then the JAC, back when they were the Church of Joliar, took over to try to restore the race and stabilize them. And then there was a war, and it was a whole thing. It's just, we couldn't use them. It wasn't an optimal pick.
Mm-hmm.
But without her here, we can just bring them back. The curse doesn't even exist here. And you look so much like them, and that's just so great. We love that.
So what is the concern?
Oh, I was just telling you why we were picking the new forms. No, the concern is we have Texomalus cultists in the city.
That is a concern.
Yeah. When we took out the prayer calculators, the faith calculators a couple generations ago, turns out some of them remembered that they used to worship Texomalus and decided to keep on doing it because it's fun. Yeah.
Round the back in.
Yeah. That was something we forgot. I forgot that we used to love things. So most of us love you, but some of them went back to Joliar worship, some went back to Saloon worship, some of them went back to Texomalus. It just happens.
How many?
Loving things.
Let's gather them all together.
How many
It's like a
Texomalon
mob.
cults would you say there are?
Well, there's one cult in our location. I don't think they're super coordinated. They're more like a terrorist cell.
Yeah.
I think they might be on some of the secret government. We're not too sure.
Just gather them up in the middle.
Yeah, but we don't know who they are.
Yes. Well, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, if you could root them out or tell them to not plan against our city. That's fine. It's fine to be a Texomale worshiper, I guess.
No.
No.
It is not fine to be a Texomalon worshiper.
Okay. No. We can institute religious programs. That's no problem. We can do that. We're big. We can do that. That used to be a thing. We'll mark them and put them in one part of the city and rehabilitate them.
Let's set that penalty on fire.
Or however you want to handle it. What does the Bible say about dealing with religions we don't like? How should we handle that, God?
Well, I am also a god of the sword.
All right, so we should put all conflicting religions to the sword.
No. Not conflicting religions. It's fine to worship other religions, just not Texomalis.
Specifically him or religions like his? Because
Specifically him.
Because they pulled up a picture of... he holds up, like, on his, like, scanner, a picture of Texomalis and a few traits he has, and then Azazel comes up, and they start comparing a little. Like, not all of them, just a little. Same with the Marquis.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying there's overlap. Should all three of them... Like, he points to, like, some kids with, like, a Marquis shirt on and wearing, like, Marquis, like, vampire things. Like, they're, like, shotgun cock.
No, specifically Texomalian cults.
All right, he's the nemesis?
He is the nemesis.
Alright, no, that's fine, that's fine. We were going to go with someone else, but that's good. It makes a lot of sense. He does think free will is a disease.
Yes.
It's good, too. He was a former Titan.
And he's got bad taste in swords.
I don't know. I don't use... I'm frog. I don't really use swords. I would use my tongue to grapple. Like, I'd, like, grab by the throat, jump over a tree branch, and then I'd, like, start reeling it in, and it would start choking them.
It's a respectable choice.
Yeah, no, it's good. I had a lot of feats I could use to specialize in that for my cooldowns.
We could put
Good
sword
pick,
on
good
the end of the tongue.
No. Piercing damage is depreciated in that patch. You don't want to do dots. You want to do crowd control. All right, no, we'll put that in the Bible then. Yeah, definitely. To the sword to them.
To the sword.
No repenting. No last minute. Wait, I was wrong.
Well, once you go over to Texomalis,
Okay, what if we're just clearing it up. We're just making sure we got this right. We don't want to start stuff that you don't want. You know. What if you were born in a society that worships him, and were raised it your whole life to believe that's the one true way? Still to the sword?
no.
See, you thought you said yes, and it suddenly cuts to the Slenderman kidnapping some children, protects Amelia's skirt, and now, well, time to put you to sword.
So if you...
Let's go with one chance to repent.
Alright, everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one.
Alright, we'll work from that. Yeah, we can come back and revise it later. Well, we'll do that. Sure. What if someone accuses someone of being a worshiper of Texomalis, and we kill them and they weren't? How much evidence do we need?
This isn't the Red Scare.
I'd say only a high priest can pass the death sentence.
No? Okay. Alright, we'll consult your high priest. I think that covers it. That covers every possible permutation of this rule.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Delegate. It's not my problem anymore. It's someone else's burden.
No, that sounds about right. We haven't dealt with religion in a while, so we're a little rusty on ethics. Oh, what about things that were made of Texomalis? Like just blanket, they go?
What, like, crafted by him?
Well, he has angels and servants, and he's created his own, like,
Entire races.
he's created his own, like people and stuff. Golems. He's big on golems.
Yeah, they should be destroyed.
What if they repent?
Well, they get their one chance.
All right, so even things that are of Texomalis can repent. What about Texomalis? What if he repents? Do we let him go? Will you let him go?
We'll handle that when we get to it.
All right, I'll mark that as a maybe. Pretty sure none of them will repent. That's just not how that works. But I'll put a maybe clause in there. I think that covers it. Yeah. What about people who aid Texomalis worshippers who don't worship Texomalis?
I think you're overcomplicating this.
Like, is that a crime to aid a worshiper of Texomalis?
It is a crime, but it's not punishable by death. Let's go with exile on that.
Exile?
Exile.
So, like, if a mother tries to prevent her son from worshiping Texomalis, or like tries to shelter him even though he does worship him, we should kill her son and kick her out of the society forever? No, the son could be like 40. He doesn't have to be like a little boy.
No.
In this example.
Well, again, she would have her chance to repent.
Everyone gets a chance to repent.
Everyone gets a chance to repent.
So no matter what you do, you can repent once.
So,
Clean slate.
so everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one?
Everyone gets one.
People start, like, who are hearing this conversation, because people like to hear and talk with you and stuff as you're hovering along. They're like, yeah. Someone started looking at, like, banks. A couple of them are starting to look at, like, neighbors who are prettier than them.
Yeah. I'll take my mulligan.
Not the message you were trying to instill.
Is the one transferable?
What, can you transfer it to someone else?
Yeah, like if I say, I don't need my one, but I want my son or like my sister, you know, I'm going to give my one to them. I take responsibility for their crime, but I had one, so that's my one.
No.
Okay, it's not transferable. Not transferable.
Non-transferable.
So you have to hire someone else to do your crime.
Then both of you committed a crime.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
hiring someone's a lesser crime than committing the crime.
Ah. See?
That's just hiring someone
I'll
to do a
take my
crime.
year in prison so that guy can murder someone.
Yeah. We could get set up a whole company like that. You know, we'll hash it out. It'll be fun. Kill Texomalis worshippers. They get one.
Yes.
Got it. We can handle that. Alright. No, that's fine. It's fine. That was really the only big problem. We had a kind of big, you know, we just assumed people could live and let live as long as they weren't bringing the city down. That was kind of the gray area we were looking for.
Yeah, no, no worship of Texomalis is allowed.
Alright, no, that's no problem. There's like a beep on his chair, and you hear small, like, construction demolition in the background. You see in the background like a building going down. No, it's fine, it's fine. A small church for, Texomalis and other things to keep them appeased.
Not anymore.
Future people just didn't care about that stuff. They would just have Caparacca churches and be like, yeah, everyone can do whatever they want. We're still going to kill hell. Butcher them all.
No, we take a firmer stance against that.
Okay, alright. No, it's been so long, we don't know how it all works anymore. Most of our natural philosophers became like IT people after we installed the faith calculators. Good industry.
Yep.
Oh, what about Caparacca worship? I don't want to point any fingers, and he points a withered, frog hand towards the horizon where the Caparacca pit is, where there's people like putting the gore on their face and like scarring themselves. But it's picking up a bit. Caparacca's big hell.
Yeah, I'm not keen on it, but we're not really at war with them yet.
Okay, so Caparacca is fine. Texomalis, no.
Let's go with strongly discourage.
Like, he points to the Caparacca kind of building they have. The charnel house.
Yeah.
It pulls out the button.
Oop.
You got all the way already.
Yes, God.
You know what? Let's just go with war on hell.
But all hell lords, even rainbows, even babies, even Caparacca, even sea serpents, like all of them.
Yes.
Okay, do we treat him the same as Texomalis?
My boy.
War.
Like kill on sight, no questions asked.
War were declared.
Yes, to the sword.
Okay, no. Take them all down. All right, no, we'll start getting those camps set up. It's all good.
Let's start with the Caparacca orphanage. Boom.
Sure. Don't worry, we have just the place to put them.
That sinkhole over there.
There's some other bones in there.
That's where all the garbage
Worst
goes.
thing you could do.
It's a garbage hole.
Bitch, you're from the future. You know better.
Yeah, they're gonna fill it with trash. It'll stop them from getting infected and bleeding everywhere.
Just
Their bodies are a lot more robust than past people bodies.
plug that.
They have
hole.
health nanites. We'll just plug the hole with trash. It's good. That was really our problem. Is there anything we can do for you now that you're here? We're getting ready to launch soon.
Came to kind of check in, see how things were going.
All right. Well, now we're going to talk about the pogroms. Do you want to see like our universities or places of art or worship halls?
I would love to.
Oh, perfect. Follow me. Like just kind of hovers forward.
Okay.
It'll show you the city. It's beautiful. It's very airy. There's a lot of open places without railings.
It looks wonderful. I think I'm going to have to spend more time here.
Yeah. There's a lot of pads everywhere that are just like if you fall, the floor will kind of glow blue and you won't hit terminal velocity and you'll just kind of drop on the ground and be fine. They put a lot of those everywhere. You know, just for various reasons.
More aesthetic than the railings.
There's mod shops where like they look like they're starting to convert mod shops into temples where it's like you go in and they like pull your consciousness and your soul and put you in a body that looks like you, but you know not directly like you. They're getting those up and running again. People are like, oh, I don't want to be a thing made of hands and teeth anymore. I'm gonna be a goat woman.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's just things they do. They show you the decanting facility, which is a large sort of underground kind of high security area where they find old stacks of like encrypted souls and they just bring them out to new bodies. They've been pulling people out of storage as generations go on. Like, yeah, I know, we worship again. It's great.
Well, I'm glad that things have been working out for you.
Yes, the support we've been receiving from the home city, from Dark City, has been excellent. A question though.
Please.
A couple months ago, he like brings up a panel which shows like those iron coffins with the knife hands. A couple months ago, these showed up in our sewer systems, and they're very clearly one of your divine progeny, like your general, not you specific.
Mm-hmm.
So we left them alone, but I don't. What are they for?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, whenever we build an outpost that has like a waste production or like catacombs, they just sort of show up.
Yeah, I think that's just their habitat.
Huh.
And
Okay.
for now, the Marquis wants us to just let them be.
Yeah, we don't really know what they do. Like, we observe them and we spy on them, and they mostly just worship and eat our filth.
That's a good idea. Keep a close eye on them.
Yeah. Don't worry, we have our top men on it. We have our secret police. And he like calls one over, and it's like it's one of those off-color humans, like the ones that are kind of mutated and stuff, but otherwise look totally normal, alarmingly normal. And he's like in a dark suit and has like those vampire glasses with the blinders on that are red tinted, and he has a bowler hat, and like he's just like there tenting his fingers, and you sense something off about him, something familiar, something Crimson Marquis-ish about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't worry, my lord. We are always watching.
Pale sort, is he?
Yeah. A lot of people don't like suntanning. Well, it's, you have fur. We don't know how tanned your skin is under there. We haven't like shaved you naked or anything. We haven't had pictures about that, so we just assumed you're pale underneath.
Yeah.
Or pink. Probably an adorable color of pink. We don't think about it that much when you're around. For reasons of shame. That came back when we turned off the faith calculators. That was a weird feeling.
Shame.
Yeah.
All the shame.
So, pale is sort of in right now. Pale, not showing where you're eating, hanging out all night, being up late. Goats hang up late, he says, and I believe it. I've seen goats around. Drinking wine, that sort of thing. Keeping bats as pets. You liberated that bat colony, so now, that's just what people do. They keep bats as pets.
Yeah. That all adds up.
Yes. Nature, yes, the children of the liberator. The beasts of the night. Our secret police are top quality.
Well, that's good to hear.
This is another problem I'm introducing to you. There's kind of vampires everywhere. Infiltrating the government, infiltrating the secret police.
That's a problem?
I mean, it's not a capital P problem. It's just it's a thing that occurs. They're very good at hiding, but it's easy for you to spot them because
Infiltrate the dealers.
You're not
and find
8.
the suppliers.
Yeah.
like this is a city you guys have control over, so your faction powers start to spread over to them.
And so are our problems.
Yeah. Oh, Okay, there was one more problem, God. I'm sorry to make this such a problem-based
No,
encounter.
it's what I'm here for.
So we don't let the children of Azazel in the city limits anymore?
Yeah, that seems wise.
Okay, people were claiming that it was ethically wrong to not allow a certain class of people in the city and live in the undercity. But we hate them.
It's such brawls, man. Brawl.
It's like, do they hate them just because they're gross, or do they hate them like just?
They look like
they are?
goats, but
I mean,
not
first we
his
thought we
image.
loved them because they were part of your male counterpart. You know, they were like the male version of like your feminine warrior, god, freedom fighter, crusader aspect, and that was obviously the gross, stupid version of you. So at first we thought we'd love them because it's like getting like a very ugly dog. We just hate them. We hate them. So we don't allow them to take part in our society, and we don't give them the same rights we give normal people.
Brawl.
Thoughts on that, God? Is that wrong ethically?
She's so conflicted.
Mathiel just walks off the edge.
What do you mean by you don't give them the same rights?
Well, we don't let them vote because every time they do, they vote for, and he looks up a sheet, Wing Knight. No matter what it is, every time, without fail. They keep eating each other in front of children, and since we know shame now, we don't want that to happen. We've kind of tampered down on the orgies and stuff. They have not. We keep them kind of corralled in the shrine to Azazel, and he points to one of the bigger structures kind of on the horizon. And we just, when they're allowed in the city, of course, we just tell them not to leave the premise, and if they do, we get people out with like sleeping sticks, and we put them to sleep, and we throw them back in the temple. We have a set amount of time where most people are indoors that we allow them to freely roam the city, observed, so they don't cause too much damage to our, places of art, places of worship. They don't defile the memory of where we like to have our families and our history and our cultural exchanges. It's a real problem. They're rowdy. They spit in the. They do a lot of spitting in the image of you. Well, spitting is like one of the things they project. They do a lot of it, and it makes us angry.
Yeah.
I never used to get this angry until I took out the faith calculator, and now it just makes me so mad.
Well, the underlying principle of our faith is that the great should shepherd the small and the weak.
We really tried shepherding these goat people.
They're stronger than us, man.
They're not stronger than us. We also have all the virus bombs at our disposal to get rid of them once and for all, finally. Solve the problem. But that means, we thought of that. We are technically stronger than them. Like, if I could get into a fight, I could kill one. With bare hands. I've done it.
And the thing about Azazel's broodlings is that it's often not in their best interest to just let them go about their own proclivities.
Yeah.
So I would say that limiting them for their own good and the good of the city is entirely ethical.
All right, God says it. Freedoms for some, so that there can be more freedoms for all.
I was so hoping you would phrase it like that.
And of course, we don't mix the bloodlines with them.
Oh, Matilda's like, what?
Maybe you need some sort of literacy test they can do to see if they can get the rights of a citizen.
No.
Not to worry, soon they'll be smart dragons.
We could maybe try to breed them to see if the smarter ones will survive. Only allow the intelligent ones to breed.
You know how you mentioned those things that show up in the sewers?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you interbreed with the younglings.
All right, no mixing the bloodlines. Didn't think that curveball to be thrown at me, but we will institute that as the religion. People who are like each other marry into people who are like each other. Got it. We will pass that on to the culture. You know, we have all of these machines here. Like, we have all our databases. What if we set up a system that people who are more like the broodlings are allowed to, like, hang out with them if they want, and we just manage how they're allowed to procreate and stuff. That way, we can keep it to a minimum. These things are very proclivative.
No, that seems a little too hands-on.
We can automate it.
No, at all. Don't worry.
That way we can keep their explosive populations down. Is that something you approve of, God?
No, let's stay away from that.
Alright.
I was really hoping you weren't going to say, yeah, it's okay to sterilize these people, because that would
No,
be-
not sterilize, just not allow them to marry or interbreed unless it's people who already like
Sterilizing
them.
wouldn't work because this is the god of fertility. They just pray to me and boop, pregnant.
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you miss and you hit a building or a rock, and then they have two buildings. It's like, there's a 7-Eleven, now there's an 812 right next to it. It's like, well, what's in the 812? It's like, we don't go in there. You ever watch the movie The Mist? And they're like, what are you talking? It's like that in there. Full of spiders with faces. All of them smell like Cool Ranch Dorito chips. All of them spit Mountain Dew at you. Alright. No interbreeding. They got it. That's a different turn we've taken, but okay. Freedom God. Also put people of certain religions to the sword. Got it. Alright. Tyler, something there you want to tell us about that,
It's more of a freedom of movement.
It's a conceptual freedom, not a
you say
literal one.
freedom of movement, but you're constraining those broodlings not to move from places.
Well, they can move wherever they want, as long as it's not inside Derek Show. They can go outside and play. Go in the tar pit. Play in there.
You're the fucking bird people from Ankylia.
Alright, they'll make those cultural changes to solve those problems.
Now I feel that I need to recruit like 3 or 4.
They will also internalize the lesson you have taught that if you go against the creator's design for how we're supposed to look, we'll end up like horrible screaming vampires in iron coffins. They will internalize that and project it outwards soon.
Oh boy.
Vampires are a lower class you should look out for.
Oh boy.
I think.
I'm glad I brought
think
Yan
need to-
along to learn
I
all
think I
these
need to
lessons.
recruit a couple of your, teach a couple of your child or these some
Yan's just like,
get them involved in
what
the
are
cult so they can be
ethics?
brooding anti-heroes with racial discrimination in their past.
whoa, we don't use the R word here. They're
Sorry,
clades.
species.
No, we don't use the
Clade.
S word.
Clade
Clade
discrimination.
Clade is what we use. It's a nice general word that means origin of the character.
We're
We don't
5th
use the
edition
big
here.
R.
We're 5th edition here. We don't use racial bonuses anymore.
No. Not since the last patch. Come on, guys. We're in version 1812, the summer release. We're not like that anymore.
Broodling Eagle Scouts. That would be something.
Anyway, everyone loves you and fawns over you. Ah! And yeah, there are a lot of like sheep men and women who look like you that do that baw voice, even though you know they don't have to. And yeah, everyone kind of puts you on a pedestal. Basically, they've reinterpreted all the things you've done as a collective as things you led the charge on.
Also, I've been sending Mattiel, like those commercials of Mattiel.
Oh yeah, they've installed the Mattel virtual assistant. They've made some changes to it here and there.
So she doesn't talk about the city, she talks about this city.
The city's good enough, but they've made some changes, like outfits change depending on what holidays there are and stuff, and
Little stand hat.
you know, she's like, don't worry, soon you'll look like me at like the limb clinics and stuff, and like they've
And now they're talking
They've
about racial
appropriated.
purity.
That's fine.
Don't go here, gold people. This is not for you.
oh no, they switch right back to the faceless man in the hat with the big neon no signs for the broodlings.
They don't even get that.
Keep out. Keep quiet.
Such a
Threat to our freedom is real.
This was a
Eye-opening
unexpected
turn.
yeah.
Of all of you that I thought was going to outline miscegenation, I didn't think it would be Mattiel.
Miscegenation.
That's the word
Yeah.
for when people from different societies
Can't marry.
combine.
Ah.
Yeah, miscegenation is when you're allowed to do it.
Yeah. Anti.
Outlawing it. I did not expect that to be Matael in the scheme of things. Did not
Well,
see
it's those broodlings.
that. It's not my fault. It's their fault for sucking as a people.
Wasn't it Nicole's thing about Chad? That he sucks.
Oh, fucking Chad. I hate that
The
guy.
Broodlings are big, rambunctious garbage people whose literal father is a party god of fertility, creating shit, and being a powerful, angry, selfish dragon who spits acid metal. I don't know if I'm misrepresenting what you thought the Broodlings would be, but they're super big.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
frat boys.
Perfect.
They're not. They are based a little on frat boys, but they're based on people who have unlimited power and no consequences, and death is meaningless.
So frat boys.
Yes, so frat boys. Yes, of course.
Goblins.
Oh, we're getting there. None of you went to the desert.
Ooh. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, they'll entertain you as long as possible
Okay.
until you eventually leave them, and they kind of just wait for you to come back again. So I think we'll pivot to Mark until you go to Bat City.
Okay.
Whoa! We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp.
All right. So you are flying because you're a bird god. Caw. Where are you going?
I'm going to a bunch of my temples are all spread around. They're like
Yeah.
small like little scout groups where people are.
Yeah, like mountain shrines and stuff.
So he's carrying the bird, like leaving feathers and kind of like drawing like a weave between them, and that's how
You're
he's
carrying the
weaving.
bird.
Yeah, big giant dead bird.
Oh, the bird titan.
Yeah, to weave and like leaving its feathers in places to weave this into the religion.
Sure. You could also feed them feathers.
The
like, they'll,
Wise
like, eat crow.
Destroyer.
Hmm?
The Wise Destroyer was his name.
They could also eat eat the feathers with you, meat crow, or like burn it to ash and mark themselves.
Are breakers intelligent?
This guy was. He's dead now.
Yeah, I know that.
One of the
would be yes.
main tenets of his religion is you don't eat sentient.
No, they're not going to eat
life.
his
No, I
meat.
know.
They're
I
going to
know.
eat the feathers. That's like eating hair. That's something gods do all the time.
Yeah,
Ew,
we're just.
why?
I kind of like the idea of
All right.
drawing it out.
What?
It's not important. It's not important. Don't worry.
Explain yourself, Devon.
I don't have to.
Wow.
All right, no, cool. They'll do. They'll like take the feathers out and like work them into like large that culture, the Nzazi culture. They like drew those big giant shapes on the landscape.
Yeah, so
They'll start wherever you drop the feathers off. Your people automatically start eagle scouting, making like carvings into the ground to be space-style mandala patterns.
yeah, that's sort of like long distance kind of things. The sort
Yeah,
of
it's like a giant
like,
thunderbird or whatever, or like a U-bird.
Yeah.
What kind of bird are you?
Uh,
Are you more pigeon, swan?
no, it'd
crow?
definitely be more on the
Bird of paradise?
hunting type. But
Eagle?
thinking sparhawk or falcon or eagle.
Okay. Falcon. Like the Falcons are machine gun
Maltese
wings.
Falcon.
I'm picturing those vultures that like dye their feathers like blood red.
What?
That seems a little hardcore.
Yeah, there's vultures and they go for like this red clay dust and they dye their fur red, like this really vibrant red.
Like on purpose?
Yep.
What? That's so cool. What the hell?
Yeah, that picture of the strangers that Kevin posts in the Discord is exactly what that guy was. He's the type of vampire that you can't tell is a vampire.
I thought that you meant the blue skin guy from Vampire the Bloodlines.
No, the guys in bowler hats with like the
Missed a book.
Yes, exactly. They're literally just people, but they're not, and they're vampires, but they're not vampires.
They're psychic vampires. They don't drink blood.
It's like a more subtle coincidental thing where it's like they're up late at night, you don't see them eating, they have intuition, they're like following people, they shy away from their reflection, but you can't tell what it is they're doing. It's like it's all sympathetic or it's all coincidental vampire stuff.
They're my priests. They go about inviting people into secret societies with offers of, knowledge and treasure.
Yeah. They have a third eye that's awakened, but it's not a literal third eye. Or is it?
There might be one on the back of their heads under the bowler hat.
Maybe.
No one ever looks.
Like Triclops from Star Wars.
Yeah, like Triclops from that movie.
From the expanded universe.
Oh, yeah, except better.
No. Nothing's better than Triclops. Both of them. Anyway, alright, so are you hanging out with your worshippers at all for this? Like, your worshippers
he's
are
going.
everywhere.
Yeah, he's going and sort of learning the different groups of people and seeing how they're going and saying, oh, by the way, the birdemic is coming.
The birdemic. What's the birdemic, God?
It is soon, if all goes as planned, those who continue to follow my teachings, as you are all, will eventually develop the ability to fly, and wings will spread.
You like start looking at a cliff nearby?
Not yet. You'll know. Trust me. You'll know when you get the wings.
Oh! This is a gift for us worshiping you loyally?
Yes.
Huh. That's great, God. Thank you.
You're very
We'll
welcome.
fly like birds and drop in on our enemies.
Poop, poop, poop.
I was thinking it too.
Oh, there are all sorts. The land tyrants, the monsters in the crevices, the trees, always trees, hungry rainbows, whatever, all sorts.
Yes.
We can pick up the shelled ones and drop them onto rocks.
the shelled ones.
Yeah, they have heavy armored shells. We'll pick them up and crack them open on rocks, like crows.
Those vampires?
The spinning legs.
Soon I will send some wise men from the city who have...
Wise men. They also change the word wise men. Wise
They
men.
have skills of writing, to explain, the concept, which I am in the holy books. I would have them tell your stories and bring them back, so that we can together share our wisdom.
Okay. Yeah. They also kind of like... It's like a small group of like maybe 20 people in this little like shrine on top of a mountain they've built, sort of like monastic burial society. Like they do sky burials and stuff.
Yep. That basically sounds good. So yeah, that's kind of what he does. Goes to the different groups, asks them a few questions, suggests a place for pilgrimage, and explain the upcoming thing, and we'll be...
So once we can fly, nothing can stop us where we migrate to. Shouldn't we migrate to where you live? And they point to vaguely the horizon where, like, if you look at the horizon away from the city, there's actually a dip in the horizon where, like the actual horizon line goes down a bit and it's a little darker depending on the time of day.
If you wish, by all means come. But to me, it is good to have the people spread throughout.
So we should avoid the Cave of Darkness?
You mean, you can go there, but it is good to have some groups.
Will we receive Dark Enlightenment if we go there? That's what the Outspoken say.
The Outspoken?
The Outspoken. They were people who mastered your teachings and took a sort of dark enlightenment upon themselves. They said they went to the Dark Cave and learned it.
I wonder if this is perhaps the signal. Would you show me this place?
It's literally your city.
Oh, never mind.
They have this rumor where if you want to learn Empty Palm, because you taught Empty Palm to everyone, if you do a voyage to this dark cave that's cold and has no warmth of the ground or shade of the trees, and so everything is sharp and bright and reflective, but also eternally dark, you can achieve dark enlightenment and become the shadow version of you, become a shadow worshiper.
A little off there. That's... No, that's where
They rule 3 of the ruling clans. Instead of becoming the bird like you are, they became the shadow of the bird that flies underneath, that goes into the hidden places, that can't be caught, that can't be seen, that goes in between the trees.
That's
the truest bird.
That's kind of... I think they're talking about me. But, yes, I can teach these things. And I hope...
Oh, no, they know the Empty Palm martial arts.
Yeah.
These are like a dark version of that, like a necromantic version that they're learning. Where instead of being bird based, they're shadow and darkness and ethereality based.
Oh.
They've gone a totally different route in your martial arts school. They're shadow Buddhists.
Okay. If you see them, I wouldn't mind having a chat with them.
They
If you
rule
mention that.
2 or 3 of the ruling clans.
Where are the other ruling clans?
They can tell you where they are. There's
Yeah, alright,
a dozen of them, and they've eaten up a third of them already.
Okay. I really hope there's not a holy war already. That's a bad start to have.
Well, it's not really a holy war. Their marshals' talents are stronger than ours. They've already taken all of our standing obelisks. They point to a space where an obelisk was. This obelisk signified our training under your supernatural techniques, and they came in and beat our leader and took it as a sign of shame that our teachings were inferior to your true teachings, the shadow teachings.
Yeah, I think I have to have a word with these people.
To be fair, They're basically playing capture the flag
Yeah.
to see who's strongest.
I mean,
Like-
that's kind of what tribes do.
So like
it's not really
bras.
the end of the world.
Also, kung fu movies. They literally stole the dojo sign.
It also occurs to me that the bird people who came back from the city would be like paler because they're in the city without much natural sunlight, so they'd look
Yeah,
different.
they'd also go to limb clinics that you have and like gene augments, vampiric
There's nothing
augments.
against.
Oh,
so
There's
there could be
nothing
actual
in my
vampires.
religion against using technology to further your.
Oh yeah, so then would be fucking vampires.
There's like
Yeah.
you can go into certain buildings. There's mystic pools full of black liquid that's on purple light, and you go in, and all the life and goodness is stripped out of you and turned inward into a calcified tumor, and you come out and you're a cocoon man covered in wrappings that can fire like shadow magic at people.
I do have stuff in my religion about not losing yourself to technology.
No, they're totally losing themselves to their own internal darkness,
Oh.
which isn't against the religion.
It's a good thing.
They're explorers. They're psychological explorers of their own internal world souls.
Just wait until they go into the pentagram and become broodlings.
That's going to be another problem. People start... Because that technology exists in your scrapyard right now, so it hasn't really taken off.
Yeah.
Because use that gift. You have to upkeep it, and then there might be clade changing stations all over the city for broodlings. If anyone wants to resist that dominion change, speak out soon. Put resistance on Peter. Like, no, Peter, no! I'm your father!
I mean, we don't know about it.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't know it yet.
Exactly.
Anyway...
I mean, I'm not really cool with all the murder.
I was cool with all the child kidnapping, but here we are.
Are you not cool with it, Peter?
Yeah, it's
In your
fine.
true heart. Yeah, there it is.
Especially because
Okay.
it's not even like I'm doing anything bad.
You're kidnapping children from parents.
I'm kidnapping children from abusive parents.
But
I'm
you
putting them in
define
a
what
safe
abusive
place.
is.
Fucking-
It's not impartial.
You're
It's
washing
not
food?
We're getting to the weeds of it. No, we're not doing
Okay,
that
okay.
argument just yet. Because we will. But yeah, that's what they tell you. They're like, yeah, no, we're ready for the great change.
Oh, good. All right. If next time you see the shop, I send a representative. I'd like to hear more about their.
I mean, you're going to visit them.
Yeah.
You just haven't visited them yet. Because they're setting up your big change.
Yes.
So you just get a preview.
So yeah, we'll have a nice chat. And,
Yeah, they hang out. They like, they go foraging with you and stuff. They show you all the different they take care of the area. Like they're taking care of the different herds, and like they've been pushing back against things. There have been things encroaching on their territory. They look like people, but they're all like pale skinned and have like pulsing red veins on them, and one singular eye where their head exploded outward. And they just make screaming sounds. And they have weird puffy vests with hard metal on them. You've seen these before.
What are they?
They're demon foot soldiers from the Helldivers.
The fuck?
Oh, what the heck are they doing here?
Yeah, they're pretty far away from where they come from, but usually they have lieutenants guiding them. They're mindless without a lieutenant. All they do is sniff out living things or good things and eat them without guidance.
Very strange.
Yeah, they have some of their bodies they've buried in like rock barrels and like taken out and like, yeah, there it is. It has like its armor on. There's like dog tags on it. Its head still kind of moves and twitches sometimes, even though it's been dead for weeks. No animal will eat it. Nothing will like hunt it. Bacteria doesn't even just decay it.
Okay, I'll take the dog tags because I can probably use those to.
You got your friend. Massimo the Decapitator.
Didn't Massimo leave?
Yeah, he's in the south. But he's your Helldiver contact.
Yeah.
Well, we also know. Oh, sorry. I always get Manticore and
The Helldivers?
Helldivers mixed up for some reason.
No,
Oh, because
Manticore's-
Manticore sounds like a demon. That's why.
Yeah, if you, I'll give some official advice to my people, and that is, if they see another one of the persons with the Helldiver, don't get into a fight with them. That's not worth it.
But they're hurting the environment.
Yeah, but chances are it will not go well. They are Helldivers are not something you want to fight. Send for a squad of high priests. We'll send our guard groups.
If we see demons infecting the landscape, we let them.
No, you mishear me. In the book it says you must have an adaptive strategy.
Okay.
My warning would be if you saw a great massive titan attacking here, hundreds and hundreds of feet tall, which is the ones fought in the
Right.
bad place.
Of course.
Would you attempt to fight them?
No, we move and hide.
Exactly.
But these things are not massive titans.
No,
we
they're
drop
not.
rocks.
But if you see one of the great beings that leads them,
we run and hide.
yes. Okay.
Or we try to convert them to our true cause.
I would warn against Helldivers. They are notoriously difficult to convince.
So they cannot be saved by the teachings of Word.
They fight.
Their souls are beyond redemption, is what you're saying.
They have another path.
They all kind of shake their head and wink at you. We understand. We'll spread the word.
Yeah.
Beyond redemption.
I just okay. No,
Wait,
to self,
no, stop.
Right, to self. So this, pulls out holy book. Don't exterminate other groups that don't follow the same path. It's like written in there in big letters.
No, it's just whenever
That
they
keeps
interact with
happening.
them, they'll assume that these people aren't equal. They're equals because they can't be saved by your teachings, and therefore are lesser. Like in an emergency, if they had to save a child
Slightly
helldiver or
less,
save
that's
one
fine.
of their childs, they'll let the helldiver child die.
We'll go into it work later. Yeah,
Because
This
they're not
is
the
confusing
same.
stuff. I'm going to consult with those ethicists.
The ethnic cysts. It's like, no, that's different. You've taught the lesson. The lesson is some people are more important or are more alive than others.
God damn.
Godbound.
We don't know right from wrong.
They're trying to figure it out. It's hard.
I'm working on it myself. So
It's hard. Well, they got the message.
okay. So yeah,
All right, you're gonna fly to one of the shadow temples.
Lothar's genuinely curious.
There's an old forest. It has. And remember, trees here are huge. Trees are like old Vancouver trees, which if listeners don't know, in Canada we have rainforests, and some of these trees are like, some of these trees used to be like 5, 6, 7, 8 stories tall and dozens of men across. Like they used to be gargantuan things, and those are like the smaller version of the trees in the Epistle. Because trees are huge here, because it's a Hyborian age, an ancient prehistoric Neolithic age.
Yeah, one fell in my neighbor's house from our yard.
Yeah, not great.
The porch is gone now. Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can build houses in these trees. They're so big, and people do. Yeah, there's one tree that dominates the landscape. Looks like it was like a mother tree, and the other ones like their roots were tied into, and it's like been stricken dead, and like it's broken open in one side and has like a large moaning face, and there's like pyrolites, literally pyrolites, like gray, black, purple fires burning in the sockets and the mouth to give it a kind of like burning face look. And there's like carrion birds and looks like skeletal creatures flying around it in a cloud. There's an actual pulsing black smoke coming over it. And yeah, that's just one of your worshiper hubs.
Okay. I'll go in.
The forest is thick and dark, and there are things living in it. Large black furred things with many eyes and mouths and hands that like hunt and eat. And it's a fucked up ecology.
Interesting.
Yeah. But they're not gonna attack you. You're so much bigger. They can smell your strength.
All right, Lothar will head over.
Okay. Yeah, worshippers come out. Again, they're hybrids just like you, so they look like mixes of different animals and stuff. There's no one, like there's not orcs, there's not dwarves, there's not elves. There's just weird mix of people. That's just how the Epistle is. Because they're all descended from titans or dragons or hyper elves, so it's a mix up. But they come out and like they wear like the same kind of like traveling sort of clothing that's been adopted, the robes or like the skins and stuff. But they've like, their skin's been burnt, so it's dark. There's like cracks in them where like actual black lights are coming out. Some of them have like sewn their eyes shut, and there's a third eye open in the center of their head, and the wound is a gunshot wound. And they come out with your holy symbols, and there's like stone pillars everywhere from other cultures where people have been crucified on them and stuff. And they're like, God is here.
Which is important. He visited.
I'm visiting all the.
Oh yeah, they get on their hands and knees, and like they offer up animals to sacrifice for being burned alive.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as they're not sentient animals, that's cool. Though I just have motion to rise because
The sentient just needs
Lothar's not big.
They
on
process themselves in a way that your other worshippers don't. Like it's total like submission. Like yes.
I've come to visit and to talk of the upcoming pandemic.
Is it time for the end times, where you will come and lift us all from the ground to the sky, and the ground will fall away into the mouth of the void, and the pitiful ground walkers below will be consumed by black fire?
No, I don't
The
know.
look on your face right now is
Lothar,
perfect.
metal as fuck.
This is just.
He's just like,
Like one of them looks like a vulture man.
He goes in
Has,
full
like,
like confused
confusion.
bird mode.
One's a vulture man has like plates bolted all along his body.
Where have you been picking this? Learning my teachings.
From your books. Then he picks up like a ragged copy of your Bible that has like, it hasn't been modified, but it looks like it's been through some pretty rough times. Like maybe it was like in like a battle or something. It's like the Eagle Scout's Guide. Yeah, they all hold it above their head and like all of them like prostrate before it. They put their palms up and their palms have wounds on them and stuff like in front of the book. And then he puts it down after about a solid minute of holding it aloft, and then they all get up after mumbling the guide.
Okay, I'll sort of take. Is there anything that I've missed in here, or like is it significantly different?
No, it's a radical interpretation of it they've taken on since you're a bird god and they fly, and flight is freeing and beautiful and natural. Then obviously that means things that can't fly have something wrong with them, or else why would you not be a flyer? Like if flying wasn't the optimal thing to be, you wouldn't be a bird god. And they've taken on your martial arts stuff about asceticism and like centering yourself, exploring your mind. The martial arts school you taught as an arcane archmaster thing. They've taken all that and combined it and been like, well, obviously there's like spiritual ladders you have to follow to reach the enlightenment you're at and get closer to God. And you being the one true god of the skies, sorry, Matael.
We can have some holy words about it later.
Do you have the word of sky?
Oh yeah.
Well, they've radically interpreted you to be sort of the female aspect of him.
Seems to happen a lot.
Also, like the etymological aspect.
Well, if Lothar, the hero of the plains, were to take a groundwalker form, it would be a beautiful goat woman who has fleets of destroying islands that follow her wherever she goes, laying down hellfire on the groundlings below as punishment. It's an ironic sort of curse. She looks she looks and is powerful and beautiful, but then she has sky things come and destroy those weaker than her, like she's mocking them, that even when Lothar takes a groundling form, that form is better than anything that the other people could possibly be. And like she can dance and do all that sort of stuff and be a warrior.
When she dances also, she destroys the ground.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you're cursing the ground, you're spitting on it constantly.
Mutilating.
All right.
They've also reinterpreted the Marquis as like you in your destruction phase, like your shadow Buddhism phase, when your dark enlightenment under a blood moon is taking full root and you fly out on leathery wings and start to drink the essence from those weaker than you. Like how vampire bats drink from like cows and llamas and stuff in natural environments, and also like eat bugs on trees that bugs can't fly off of. And Azazel, same kind of thing, destruction phase, but like it's like you're mocking the earth by taking a dump on it. Also, he's a dragon, and dragons can fly, so obviously that's you when you want to be like, when you want to appear before the Titans and let them know that it's time for the Titans to get genocided. A word they picked up, by the way. You didn't know they learned that word, but this group knows that word. It's like, well, he looks like the Titans and the dragons and the Hyper Elves, to spite them.
Well, you want to destroy the army.
And they just don't talk about that. They just not really at all. Like that's you with bees. And they're like, yeah, bees. Duh.
They also have
And even ants fly.
I will send some.
The
You
petty
will
stuff.
collect. I would have you gather your wisdom and interpretations.
Oh, they have. They have a book bound in flesh. They call it the Eagle Scouts Guide, Appendix 1.
Oh Lord.
It's like, this is for, and they all start saying the word and use them, big boys, big boys, big boys. This is where hidden badges are found. Accolades one cannot find through the common teachings of the first guide. Badges beyond badges, dark badges, hidden in shadow, never seen the light. And they have like sashes with it like carved from stone and rock and bone that they keep inward against their skin. They don't let that actually show into the air. But they like turn it outward to like, it's a secret society thing. Like the Freemason symbol on a wallet.
Collectible pins from the city.
I hate all of your
I will-
religions except for yours.
I will. I will
because
take
we have
And yours is
less
vampires.
wisdom, and you'll see my. You'll
Believe
hear from
themselves.
my judgments.
This isn't all your religion. These are just the problem parts of it. From
Yeah,
your religion
you know what?
realm.
I have a real simple solution to this. You know the ritual I'm doing? It's not hitting groups that are this bad.
Well, you're going to say that these guys fall outside of it?
Yep.
That's not going to cause problems. Then they'll be like, no. He doesn't want to give us this gift for free. He wants us to find it on our own. We're too enlightened for the masses.
We'll raid the other dojos, steal their obelisks and their wings to put on ourselves. Then we'll be the good boys.
And I'm gonna have to start up a holy crap, like I really need an ethicist to like solve it, like a judge
Holy
or something.
crusade, you say?
No, I mean
No, we're not doing any holy wars.
We just did like the one like Lothar's like, oh, let's have a bunch of different interpretations. Some of them are now he's realized some of them are going to be completely anathemical to his beliefs, even though technically falling under it.
The appendix, the Shadow Book, the Book of Shadows. There's like quotes in there from Kolat and from Birdman.
From
what's his name?
Two Legs Talons.
Two Legs Talons. Like it's like the hero of Lothar, his twin, Two Legs Talons, once said. And like there's addendums by the Dark Sorceress Kolat.
You know what you should do? Fucking be like, he's a bird, but he can't fly.
He flies.
How?
He just
He's
kicks.
not. Oh, okay, never mind.
He just
He's
keeps
a good
kicking and
kicker.
attacking.
Okay. That's
Uppercut.
I was like,
He punches the ground.
he's a flightless bird, so
No, if
you know,
he
he's a
kicks his
loser.
ostrich legs enough, he'll just get leverage in flight.
Now,
Broncos kicks.
there are some issues with
They started picking up a different martial art than the one you taught them. Like they spun off of that, and then they went to the goddamn Dark City.
They went over to the Dark City. That's fine. I will.
I love how you're pausing. Like it's fine. It's
The city life has ruined them.
I picture some of their
I
badges
will
being like...
ask this. Do not have you've not been going and hunting in the other worshiping camps, correct?
no.
You've
After
been
we
maintaining
established dominance and prove our value to the other tribes, we then move on.
All right.
We are the leaders of the community. We're the community leads. We're the thinkers. We're the philosophers, Lord. We don't want to hurt our fellow man. We want to help guide them through the next stage of spiritual evolution. To be more like you. To be pure. To have a soul so unburdened by material sin that it floats on its own.
Lothar tries not to roll his eyes. I see. I will thank you for your contributions. I will consider this and add this to the this.
You're like a freedom god, right? Like Lothar of the Plains, the hero. They're the evil sect of your cult.
Because of course there's going to be.
Why wouldn't there be? Ezra had like 5 different religious variants for her cult.
I'm just saying, this is why we need spies and schools and keeping an eye on everyone at all times.
I could make some
That's one of the things about my group, though. But yes, I'm gonna start arranging to have his own personal information network. I'll give you one. You get one guess. Yeah, you're getting one guess what it's related to. Birds.
Birds.
But yes, I will be starting a information gathering thing so that we can work this, and I'm going to be starting up an ethics kind of council to make sure things don't get too completely crazy.
And when they do, to the sword.
Yeah, these guys, if you want to investigate more, the areas they live in are a lot harsher than the areas the other ones live in.
Yeah.
Like, there's active, like sinkholes of evil around here that they've been having to fight
What-
off and insulate themselves against.
What Lothar is hoping for, and what he will probably end up doing, maybe his dominion change, if these guys consider them a cult, is a gradual kind of change. Like taking some of the things he considers good, like the new martial art, the thing, and maybe getting rid of all the outland, the people who live on the planet must burn, and this.
Well, they assume
method
there's
is
an apocalypse
inherently-
coming because they've also heard future talk about how the world ended. And they're like, well, Lothar's not in their future holy books, so obviously he takes his worshippers and they go to a sky world and let this world fall into the void and burn, and that's why the future people.
It probably doesn't hurt that I was planning on making a flying city.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. There's precogs in your group.
But yeah, look, basically just work towards toning it down.
Yeah, that's fine. This isn't like a huge problem that's destroying your religion. It's just,
Schism.
well, it's not even really a schism. It's just these people grew up in a different environment,
Yeah.
and that's what's causing them to like, well, we need more tools to defend ourselves. Like, there's a lot more breakers spawn out here. There's a lot more like weird pockets of like hell and stuff opening up. That's something they point out too. Like, they've been getting a lot more hell. Like, not hell divers. Like, they actually have angel corpses from the underworld.
Really?
Yeah, they show you. Like, they have like a whole cathedral where they have the desiccated and mummified corpses of like angels of hell.
Okay. I don't know if I've got a camera phone on. Oh, actually I do. It's probably... Oh yeah, it's literally stuck onto my helmet.
There you go.
Someone gave me a
Do you
communicator.
have like a helmet with wings on it, like made of brass?
He has a big brass helmet, yes. It doesn't... His wings are unnecessary. But yes, it is a big stupid helmet and he has goggles.
That's amazing. You're like the Flash. Yeah, no, there's desiccated bodies in here from things they've brought down. There's like a ball that looks like it's a large glass eye with saw blades bisecting it. Like someone put 2 saw blades into it, like in an atom. And like it's all cracked and damaged. They say that it came out and was like firing like... It was like setting people on fire with its gaze. And they like took it down and broke it apart. There's what looks like empty suits of armor that had meat in them that they've like broken up and smashed apart and like, you know, set on fire. That has like sword arms for fingers. Just weird things.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to send some chroniclers over here. I changed my mind on the whole, including in their religion, I guess, after learning a little more.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll keep going on and checking out stuff and eventually head back to the city.
Alright, you want to check anything else?
Primarily, just looking around there.
They're all excited. They're all excited for the birdemic.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll take to the skies. We'll take away from here.
And I guess maybe I'll stop in by the Bat Colony on the way back, because
Oh, you two want to meet up at the Bat Colony?
Sure.
was going to go
All
to
right.
the ocean.
Thea, what were you up to?
I was going to go to Unity, although I don't have a flying machine to go there.
It's
So,
fine.
I
If you
guess
You
want
I-
just network travel.
I don't have that.
Yeah, you can uninstall yourself from your current body and install a new one nearby.
I mean, you can just ship your body ahead of time. It
It doesn't take a lot to build that body. You have bodies everywhere.
I just didn't think that I had one over there.
Why not? Just say you do.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you have cultists who are spreading out away from the north.
Yeah, alright, that works.
Alright, we'll come to you,
I can go last.
Sure. Alright, Matael, you are heading to the Bat Colony, as you guys have named it. Let's see what I got for that isn't this. This is far too upbeat for the Bat
some
Colony.
bad screeching.
Alright, you go to the Dark Mount, which is what they call it, Dark Mount.
Okay.
Your ship kind of crests, over the valley where it is. It's that singular mountain that was a, kind of a cave thing with like a dead volcano center where the bat came out of. It's covered in smooth hexagons. Like the outside has been carved. Like someone carved the mountain, and now it's shiny obsidian hexagons all around it. And there's a lot of heat in the air. It's much more tropical than you remember for the Arctic. In fact, there's like rainforests and ash everywhere, and like crops. Do you know anything about nature?
I know about weather.
This volcano erupted recently. Well, recently is in air quotes, a couple decades ago. Since you were here. But yeah, these hexagons have been carved out of the obsidian left behind by the volcanic eruption, and the hexagons themselves look like they're hollow and have just stuff in them. There are lights on the seams of the hexagons that glow that look like they're like elevators or stairs, because hexagons, how they link together. There's like travel routes built through them, like the straight lines even have like trams, like hand pulled carts and stuff. And yeah, the inside has been carved into a large shiny bowl that reflects light when the light reaches it, so it just gives off like a screaming kind of sun glow in the day that you see for miles.
I'll take the kitten in and just sit down, I guess, in the middle of it.
In the bowl, or just around near the mountain?
In the hexagon bowl.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You sit down. Rufio is like, all right, no one's coming out to greet us. That's odd.
That is odd. Well, if they're not going to come out to greet us, we'll go to greet them.
There doesn't seem to be a way in from the bowl at the top of the volcano. Like, there's no entrance.
Okay. Are there any openings?
Oh yeah, all over the base and all over the sides of the volcano themselves. There's like windows and shunts and vents.
Just fly over one of those and I'll just drop in.
Sure. Do you bring people with you?
I bring Yan with me
All right.
because he can fly, I assume.
Yeah. He's made of butterflies. Yeah.
We arrived at the same time, I assume.
Yeah. You see the same thing. big mountain. I guess it's not daylight, or else that bowl would be super lit up.
Okay.
All right, there are people inside. Bat people, chiroptean is the word for bat-like. They're wearing clothes that look a little turn of the century, a little industrial revolution-y. They have like gear on. They look dirty. They don't look underfed or malnutrition, but they look like they're working. And like this whole place has been carved and smoothed over, and there's like lights that are like lit by gas, like slammed into pythons and stuff, like chemical lamps everywhere.
I like the hexagon aesthetic.
You would.
Okay.
Like they'll kind of turn to look at you because you come in through like one of their window vents. They're awestruck.
I've come to visit. It's been a long time since I've attended to this area.
Yep, they go on their knees and like cover their heads with their like bat wings and stuff and start worshiping you, like bowing and like raising.
Is there someone in charge you can take me to?
The queen.
Yes, the queen.
Okay, we'll bring you to the Queen Mother.
Yeah. And along the way, tell me a bit about your life here. There's been a lot of changes since the last time I was here.
After we outcast the Nemesis, the Queen Mother took over and we changed our lives to better be in line with your worldviews, with your ways of life, your enlightenment.
And who is this nemesis?
The Nemesis, and like with his bat wings, he makes it like with hand, like against like the chemical lights,
Giant
pictures
bat
of a
killed.
giant bat flying.
Okay.
Hand
Being
shadow.
killed.
Yeah.
The kite flute,
Yes.
the singer in the skies.
Yes, of course. And life has been good under the Queen Mother?
Yes, it's a fulfilling life.
That's good to hear.
We've been blessed with a bountiful earth outside of our home. The winter has been pushed back. We've struck down the seasons and taken them for ourselves. Now it is idyllic out here, a lost land away from the cold north. And like you can even like when you were coming to the mountain because of the eruption, there is like a wall that goes around kind of the area that's lush and rainforesty that's been built by lava.
Nice.
Yeah. If you were looking at this from like far away, the wall of lava is like, it's many, many stories high and it's super thick. It would actually cover up the rainforest and the trees, but you'd still see the mountain. But, because it's black and the way it's been made of like a Vanta material, it would just look like a mountain. It wouldn't look like it's a fertile place to live.
Nice.
It would also probably cause snow blindness because it gives off so much light. And now this is clicking into your head, oh my god, they've hid themselves.
Yeah.
From outsiders by just geology, like geographical stuff.
It's very clever of them.
A good strategy.
The Queen Mother said that it was your wish that we were to conceal this bounty from the tyrants outside, the wanderers, the takers and the breakers, who would defoul this place.
Yes, she spoke true.
And that is how we work. We make the mountain give up its bounty. We take of the land and replenish it. We, of course, give our offerings to the gods. We work with the paradox, and we worship the Queen Mother as she is your avatar.
Work with the paradox?
That's the word they use for themselves. The anti-angels.
Hmm?
Can you elaborate?
It's strange. We don't really have a word for what an angel is, but we know what an anti-angel is, and they're everything the angel is not.
Where do they come from?
They come from places that don't exist. They are homeless, but they have homes. They travel not through land, but through time.
You
Through
don't mean
moments.
the iconoclasts.
Future societies.
Oh, you're here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're just here, they also do the thing where they cover their heads and hide from God and bow to you. That stops the whole train. They're not walking anymore now. They're all doing it around Lothar.
know the birds swoop at you, so...
You know how cranes or warblers, they have big wings, and when they're standing in water, they'll like cover their heads and make a shadow over the water so they can see fish?
Yeah.
That's what they do. Like, but that's how they bow and worship you, and they're bad people.
What do these anti-angels look like?
They take many forms because they're cursed by the gods to not have beauty. Some, they look like monsters, but we've been told to be merciful to them because it's not their fault that nothing loves them.
We'll have to meet with some later.
Well, some are here now. They're from the One.
Like here?
Yes. They're meeting with the Queen Mother now for tribute and trade.
Well, good. Then we can meet with them at the same time.
Yes, God. As foretold, you've come here to ordain this meeting. Make it auspicious. You know all.
Really?
The Lothars, he just
When is the war beginning?
Well, we'll should perhaps leave that for another time.
We'll speak with the Queen Mother.
We're very excited. We can't wait to meet. We all hold with breath to see them lead.
Mm-hmm.
They stress the them as a different them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they lead you up to under where that bowl is, and you can see that the bowl has been enchanted, so that's actually translucent on one end. So the light that's being reflected and enhanced up there, and the shadow of your ship actually is pouring into here, making it horrifically bright. Like if you could only see like bats, like if you had sensitive eyes like bats or whatever,
Yeah.
or no, if you rely primarily on sight, you would be taking subdual damage from your occipital nerves being like destroyed by prisms. But if you're bats, you're fine, and you're gods, so this kind of petty bullshit doesn't affect you.
Lothar just clip. He's got the goggles.
You're like, I didn't ask for this, and like the cyberpunk shades come out. The throne room of the Queen Mother looks like it's about 3 stories worth of like central kind of. It's a football stadium, like under the caldera of a volcano. It's lit by lava and chemical lamps, and the light from up there that's all bouncing off of each other. Again, football stadium with like a giant like carved throne, but the throne itself is the statue of all of you. Like big, larger than life, 3-story tall statues of you guys made from obsidian to show you off in like a pantheon. And you're all kind of like, all your backs are kind of fused together and, as if you were one. Suspended from in the ground, like it looks like they carved it out on one of the floors, is the body of that bat. That's been like petrified and mummified and like covered in like precious stones and stuff. So like, whenever the light from this casts a shadow on your statues during different times of the day, it actually crosses over its grave. So your shadow is always over its death.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's well done.
Pardon?
I said that's well done.
Right? No, they love it. And yeah, this place is basically a giant Forbidden City football arena mega church king's castle to you guys. They're like the walls and the seats and the pews and the hanging places for bats to sleep in this bright area. The bright room are all about you guys and your symbols and your accomplishments and deeds you've done. And like there's even like statues of like the sewer vampires and like your accomplishments and like the killing of the mammoth and the emperor and stuff.
So they've been staying informed, even though they're hidden away.
Oh yeah.
They're part of my network.
Oh yeah, that fungus is everywhere. Like there are veins with like insects and meat
So they don't trade with the city, do they?
They totally do.
Okay, so yeah, then they would be.
Yeah, okay, great. Do we see the Queen Mother?
Yeah, she's that woman from before. Remember her? The drug
Standby?
addict? Yeah, standby.
And what about the envoys?
I'm getting to the Queen Mother first. She is sitting on a throne that is many, many, many feet above anyone else. It looks like she's gotten physically bigger. Like now she's like 20 feet tall and looks primordial, like Grendel's mother in the CGI Grendel movie, where that was Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Like she has like the heels that are coming out of her like feet and stuff, but they're made of bone and fur. She looks kind of like Priscilla from Dark Souls.
Okay.
Like just big monster woman sorceress. Her face has started to get bigger and have like a big bat face that started to like get a smaller face appearing underneath it and stuff. She's an eldritch. And yeah, bat wings and jewelry and armor and stuff. And she has your holy symbols like tattooed in her flesh and also like magically like appearing over like her brow and stuff like a crown. And she has an actual crown. So a lot of ostentatiousness going on. Yeah, she's sitting there on her throne with her like talons curled into like the armrests of it. The envoys are pale people without faces, without clothes on, with symbols carved into their chest, without like any holes on their body at all. Like they're all smooth, no ears, no mouths, no faces, no belly buttons, the whole thing.
What the fucking shit?
If you were from the future, which neither of you are, you would recognize these as Unity drones. As hive minders. And it looks like they've just finished whatever they're doing, and like the drones are starting to like slowly in unison walk away to go to a different part of the arena and like deal with like the large machinery they've brought that has like goods.
So, stand by. Good to see you again.
She like raises her arms, and the shadow of which covers the entire room like a Disney villain to like do her outline. Shit, what's that bitch's name from Disney? Maleficent style, with like the horns and stuff, and like covers her face in front of God, hides her shame from God.
Oh, please, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, her voice just echoes through the area. Hello, gods. You've returned to us, as it was foretold.
As it was. You're looking well.
My power has only grown with my faith.
So there seem to have been some developments here. I'll gesture towards the Unity drones.
Yes, we deal with the paradox, as you prophesized and foretold.
And what have your dealings brought?
Resources, knowledge, ideas, ways of thinking. Promises, hope.
I don't like the thinking part.
What sort of promises?
They tell us that the war will be inevitable, and that the victory will be promised.
Which war is this?
The war against the pleasant masters. The war against the breakers and the takers. The Great Purge.
Well, they're not wrong.
Where the blood of Fui's children will plunge this world into a new age.
So, pretty much the stuff we're all doing anyway.
Yeah, they're getting geared up for it. They're like, we can't wait to see you guys kill a pleasant master elf.
You can't wait for the end of the world.
No, that's like the start of the first age.
Yeah.
Like all of these big super beings dying and giving birth to like the standard D&D races. That's like when time starts, when recorded history begins. They can't wait for that shit.
You can't wait to be in the history books.
And what have you had to give?
My power that I've taken from the children of Fui has enabled me to have insight into this land and certain resources. The paradox. She kind of gestures to them in their little group. Require. Also land. Areas for them to colonize. They need protection. Or they request it. They offer the hand of friendship. And it's your teachings that friendship is the pillar upon which we will crucify our enemies.
Yeah.
That seems right? You're all about alliances and making friends?
Yeah.
Alright. You guys both were gods that were, slaves, so you're all about banding together and being stronger as one. I'm not grossly misinterpreting that.
No, that all sounds pretty legit.
I mean, everyone is in this setting. Literally all of the big things do that.
No, and grouping together to take on actually is kind of
You all talk
the whole thing about flocks and stuff like
flocks, birds, piracy, like it's all there.
Strength through unity.
that. Huh. Literally in this case.
Yee. Yeah, she thought that was cute.
Well, really, we're just kind of stopping in to see how things are going. And frankly, I'm quite impressed with how you've managed things here.
Your words are all that sustain me, my lord.
If there's ever anything that we can do for you,
You've done enough. You gave us freedom and hope. Our society will continue on forever. Our name will be etched into the fossils of this world through your will.
indeed.
They literally have no problems.
That's great.
Yeah.
Them, the swords.
So
You guys were waiting.
Now, there's no other shoe to drop for. They figured it out.
Violence.
She's a big, giant tyrant woman, and they've turned this into a fertile land of resource trading.
benevolent-ish dictator.
She's not benevolent. Like, you know, there's
Ish.
going to be problems that are in any normal society, but they're not, like, going fucking crazy. They're not having blood orgies or, like, sacrificing their children.
When I heard the unbelievers will led, like that sort of war.
No.
This is
but
pretty standard.
But they will watch the Pinnacles be drowned knee-deep in the blood of their own children. That will happen. That's coming.
It's not like Lothar's ever going to feel sorry for Hyper Elves.
Why would you? They're monsters.
Good. Well, we just wanted to check in, so.
We do have information for you, but we felt that it would be good to give it once you come to us. It's just sensitive in a sense of time and a sense of appropriateness.
All right, well, we're here now.
There is a movement starting. There's a spark of rebellion among the Pleasant Masters people and among the non-aligned cultures, the ones that haven't seen your light, but the ones who also reject the Pleasant Masters. And it's starting to catch. There's a figurehead deep in the north, across the vast oceans, in the wastes of the end of the world.
Do they have a name?
They call her the woman from Elderguard.
Fuck.
She is apparently the high priest of Shemzaroth.
Oh.
Who's Shemzaroth?
The chaos monster in the north.
Oh, right, yeah.
The xenomorph hive king.
So the High Priest of Shemzaroth sparking rebellion amongst the Hyper Elves.
Yeah. Like amongst their servants and
slaves.
stuff, and like gathering together into a full-on like blood war. They say that she rejects Shemzaroth's control and has taken his armies and his worshippers and built a new civilization in his capital. They've cast him out.
That's very interesting. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
I'm just going to make a quick check. I have that crash course education. Did that happen last time?
What happened last time is the Hyper Elves were perfect and wonderful and beautiful, and a woman from this place in the world called Elderguard rose up with her council of sorceresses and
So,
priestesses
yes.
and ate Caparaka and killed the Hyper Elves to the man.
Okay.
So you said that she rejected Shemzaroth's teaching?
Yeah, she took over the society from him. Shemzaroth's been kicked out of his own empire.
I guess we'll have to visit.
They say she fed him lotus leaves while he slept, and it cast him within his own mind, and now he wanders endlessly on the plains of dreams where he can't find his way back to his body.
That's a rough fate.
I don't like it.
See, because we only scored the first kill on the Hyper Elves, so.
Lothar is just like, so, let me get straight. Someone who was in an empire we were supposed to be concerned with later, a new person who's also another empire that we're not going to, that isn't particularly worse, and they're all just fighting the Hyper Elves. Okay?
Oh yeah, the whole world rises up and wipes them out. And the other ones, the iconoclast. There's a lot of Neolithic genocide that goes on here before the time clock starts. Also, the dragons and the titans, you better watch out. Better not shout.
See, we don't want to miss all of that fun.
Oh yeah, there are there any groups of my worshippers around here, or
Aren't here?
yes?
Yeah, totally. In the volcano, everywhere.
Yeah.
They have shrines and temples. They have football stadiums and mega churches to you.
We have. I have to have a quick discussion regarding an upcoming.
An update.
Yes, although I think it won't affect them that much.
Oh no, they're totally in line. She's kept the screws on dissidents, mostly because she's very hands-on.
No, I just mean like, oh no, the bats who can already fly can.
I mean, they'll grow a
spread
second pair of
A
wings.
second pair of wings and fly.
They're gonna get super wings
Are
probably.
they
That's
gonna
true
be-
because
Maybe they'll get a feat that lets
I
them
have, like-
attack, that lets them take to the skies and move action as a free action.
yeah, basically they go from like
That
like,
isn't covered in the system.
like flying like within the realms of physics to bullshit flying.
Yeah. No, they'll go from their normal flight. They'll go up the tree so they can do flyby attacks as a free action.
Will they grow like feathery wings, or like will their bat wings just be bat wings?
That's a
Well, the
good.
bat wings are their arms,
So they'll just grow like another set of bat wings, and the bats will
They'll
have
grab like
wings?
an extra set of wings.
or a normal pair of arms will burst out of their chest, and the bat wings will go back, and they'll be like the gargoyles from Gargoyles.
Important questions.
I think nature
I
will find a way.
It's either nature find a way, or because originally the interpretation was they were all going to have like bads, like you've seen Flash Gordon,
Yeah.
the terrible,
Hawkman!
the Hawkman, terrible wings and like way too
Brian
small
Blessed.
and barely move.
Flash alive! What? You'll be destroyed. Die.
I totally have to make the Brian Bless champion.
Fucking Christ. So yeah, that's her message to you. There's stuff going on in the deep north.
We thank you for this information.
Yeah, she's all humble and like not looking at you guys as like a form of worship, as you thank her.
Yeah.
It's funny
We'll
how,
take
like,
our leave.
it's funny
Yes.
how,
Oh,
like, over
one
the
quick-
top this
Got to
church
drop
is,
off the book and
and like no one consecrated it though.
Nope.
yeah, throw around a couple feathers outside and talk to the cults.
All right. The faceless, naked albinos, like their heads move as you leave, as they're watching you. You guys
So-
gonna talk to each other at all?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, she's doing a pretty bang up job.
I don't see too much of an issue. There's Helldivers.
What? Where?
Wherever the heck that was.
Over there.
They just want to brief.
There's Helldivers.
Not where you'd expect them to be.
They just want to brief everybody after all the adventures.
Yeah, that's probably safe.
So, hey,
Thaa, you're going to the Unity? There we go. Thaa, you transfer your consciousness to another one of your sanctified forms near the Unity on the other side of the map. You're in a temple built into a tree, because there's trees everywhere. This is just more like a tree with leaves. It's a maple tree. Giant, full of bees and spider webs everywhere, hollowed out but still alive. There's fungus growing inside that makes it soft and pliable. So the tree itself died, but the tree that's growing on the inside of it, that's going to shed its form and reveal itself as a Thaa tree, covered in fungus and bugs, it's coming along nice. It's a temple to you.
It being like a fungus on the inside would probably make it really like warm and comfortable.
Yeah, it's like a womb. That was the
Nice and
wording we were going
fuzzy.
for. But yes, you are here. Your worshippers are here. They, on this side of the island, look like pig people and tropical animals, sort of, like, monkeys and pigs and lizards and stuff. But, mixed in with, like, hyper-elf features and takers and breakers. Birds of paradise, that sort of thing. They're all wearing robes and they all have... Like, there's actually some bee people here, too, and spider people. There's a goblin from the future here, too, and he's just, like, there with your symbols on him.
Alright.
And they're all worshiping in front of the tree because they knew ahead of time.
Yeah, I'll just
Mother
like,
Thaa! Mother Thaa!
looks like wave my hand over them like as a benediction.
We should wake the sleeper.
Yes.
They go down, like, away from your church and, like, bring up a giant, how ants make that kind of resin? It's a giant resin thing with an Eastern Thaa inside of it, full of honey sleeping. And they just start like chewing on it and opening it up and pulling Acer out. He's like, whoa, eating me alive, eating me. Oh, right. This is how our religion works. Get a hold of yourself, old AC. Woo, man. Hey, Thaa. I mean, God, mother, her. He starts coughing up honey into a cup, and then like there's some spices from a side of the fungus, and sprinkles it and starts drinking it.
Good morning.
Yes, it's morning. Sorry, we've taken to freezing us in your bolt holes, so you can always have one of us on hand.
Oh yes, that was part of the design.
Of course, you designed it. You know, we're legally dead until you're in our presence and use your miracles to restore the brain damage, so our brains can't be tracked. As you know. No, you did that when you saw us. You did it automatically. It's part of your plan. I'm expositing because the brain damage is still catching up with me. It's part of your design in case you forgot things. And that ends the automated message you left in my head and this follow-up to explain it.
How this message self-destruct.
All right.
What's happening? Are we fleeing? Are we running? Are we in danger?
No, we are going to be speaking with the little Unity collective community around here.
Unity of the World Mind remnant?
Yes.
All right. I'll get my thinking hat on.
Yes, you probably do want to do so.
It's a metaphor. It means I'll not think about things.
Yes. We are going to be obtaining information on how to gather more souls.
Oh, Genesis Project. Right. I was there for that, ish. I was murdered at the time, or in jail for Genesis. You know, there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Who can remember when you've been here for all the time?
Yeah, this place has a lot of stuff happening. So the UBN is what they're called now. They call themselves the Unity Broadcast Network. They've gone a little weird with how they present themselves. They like to think that they're like a service or a utility they provide, as if being in the hive mind itself is like running water or clean food. It's a basic human, or it's a basic sapiens right and need. Like, they think that if you don't go without food long enough, you'll starve and die. If you go without the hive mind, you go crazy and become murdery and become alone, like a flower that's on the sun enough that just withers up and dies in its own isolation.
That's a good marketing shift.
Yeah. They'd much rather just force everyone into it with the, the super relic, but that doesn't work anymore, and they have to build a new one. That'll take time.
Good.
Yeah. Where the hell? Oh, this is where we are. He's like looking outside the tree to like the tropical area, and like on the horizon there are giant towers like in the Badlands giving off the signal. It's like, there we are. Do you have travel miracles? Like divine power over traveling, or do we have to hoof it?
Well, I'm going to fly, of course.
Right. God body, right.
Just once again, also, Tha's
Piggyback
feet
ride.
never touch the ground.
Right. You do that. You don't touch this despoiled earth. Right. So am I getting on your back? Like into the nest?
It'll some arms will pull it aside and open it up on the very back of it, so several arms just come up and pull it open.
I'll just cuddle with God for the trip. That's perfect.
Like the nest,
That's what I'm used to.
The arms
Yeah,
close back around and
so comfy.
yeah.
My life is complete
So
inside
warm.
God.
And stop.
You kept him in there for millions of years.
No, I know. It's just the way he said it.
This is where Acerins live. They'll just fly your way over. Your worshippers all wave as you leave. A lot of them have holes in the back of their head where bees and ants come out of.
I'm like, holes in the back of their wait, what?
Oh, right, I put those
that's
there.
me.
I did that.
They don't look like they need anything, right?
You couldn't go from metal fillings and teeth.
They're pretty okay, actually. They're doing fine. Nothing more than your other worshippers would need. They could always use more. They always want more. Yeah.
I'll actually, before we leave, I'll kind of basically meditate here for a while to spread the network out.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been spreading the spores manually, but it's much
Of
easier
course.
if you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, this place is now infected for a mile. Perfect.
Yeah, basically like, receive my blessing, my children.
Annihilation-style shimmer field.
Yeah.
There we go. Alright, yeah, if you look at the map, you're going like just straight north into the Badlands, named because it sucks here. Let me just open the full-size map so I can properly get into my head what we're looking at. So, the Badlands are a mineral-rich mined area. Like, the soil isn't super fertile, but it's full of, like, salt and rocks and geological formations. There's a lot of cracks in the earth that are mines. And there's actual cities here. Like, there's like 3 or 4 of them just kind of dotting the area where, like, mining areas have been opened up and they're quarrying through it. And they're underground cities, you know, breaking out of the ground.
Neat.
There's just people that live in here. Mole people, grounder people, things that tunnel, things that bore, things that rip and tear. Ant-lion people.
Awesome. I like those ones.
Yeah. And there's roads. There's actual, like, road infrastructure here.
That's shocking.
Yeah. They're really far from the Hyper-Elf area. And at the very tip, near the coast, is the UBN colony, which is dotted by a large Tower of Babel ziggurat in the middle. That's like a central broadcasting network. And then smaller black obelisks with large red eyes that roll around in a stone socket around it. And for miles and miles, as you get closer, you can start picking up a fuzz in the back of your head. It's like chatter. Yeah, none of you are immune to it.
That's not how this shit works.
That's not how immunity in hive mind works. But yeah, eventually you'll get close enough to that area that you'll just start to hear the hive mind. It's like the world's being pulled out from under you, like you're in free fall or skydiving, and then it's also kind of like a crashing wave of noise hitting your head, where there's just millions of voices all screaming at once.
Because this is a type of
Network?
Yeah, can I just like...
Oh, you'll adapt real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people go into a coma. They haven't been raised in the Unity network. You can, and plus you're an AI, so you can compartmentalize yourself pretty well, but... Oh man, that's unorganized. It is chaos. There is no order or segregation. It is everyone in the mind screaming at once.
Can I also make Acer not flip out about it?
You can set that up. You can just do a little work in there. Do a little psyche manipulation.
Alright.
Also, Acerin grew up in the hive mind. He spent hundreds and hundreds of years in it, so he's like, oh, right, oh, my bones.
Also, my most recent fact is all minds are on my network, and it counts as being an Archmage of the Academy of Thought, so...
Be gone. Be gone, Thought. So, yeah, there are, like, medieval fantasy towns and, like, mining communities and, like, open pit strip mining areas using, like, medieval tech. Just all over, and it looks like they're just people, and just, you know, the skyline is dominated by 3 big towers, 2 sub-ones, 2 repeaters, and 1 primary output.
Can you just query the network for questions?
You can just talk to them. You're talking to everyone on the hive mind right now.
I guess if everyone's on the hive mind, there's not like...
A central authority?
Yeah, there wouldn't be like an authority, right?
No, they're an unstructured democracy. The whole hive mind decides.
Right.
A narco-collective.
Where do you keep your information stores?
Thousands and millions of people have talked, and one was like, who said that? Who's asking where information is stored? That's not a question one of the past people ask. It's probably someone who's new. Maybe they're brought out of storage. They're looking for things. Who's looking for things? Who?
Silence. I am Thaa.
Who's telling me to be quiet? I'll kill you and then myself.
I don't want to snipe that bitch.
There's a lot of people screaming at each other. It's like, you can't say that to a new person. You're going to make us... They're going at it.
Fortune, the place.
It's like,
Not Banhammer!
There's no such thing as that.
First-
There's no moderation to the mind.
yep, there can be nip for temporarily.
I will make my way to the central tower. I assume that's where they keep it.
Yeah, the central tower is a giant Babylonian ziggurat covered in like crystals, like mined crystals and amethyst and repeaters and coils and satellite dishes everywhere. There's like cranes holding up what look like actual satellites made of gems and future tech and NASA style spacecraft that like they're adding to and they're going to send up into the sky. And the people here, they all look like future people, but like they all have bags under their eyes and they're all like constantly screaming out loud and talking in the hive mind and like just it is chaos here. There is no order. Like someone will be working, someone will run up to them and take their tool and they'll start working better and that person will run off and do something else. It's like, it's chaos on the ground level, but as you zoom out, it's more like the most efficient parts are being moved around the second they become inefficient to start taking over. So the second that guy's been working too long to no longer be the best he can be, he goes and does something else and someone else takes over. And it's just screaming. Always watching, always thinking.
Volcadian Madness Network.
I will,
God! Get the genocide right! Kill us! Kill ourselves! Take the cyanide! Take it! No, talk to them! Worship them! Now!
I will land as much as I ever do.
Nemesis! Blood money!
The back will open up.
Oh, they're screaming about Nemesis and blood money's God.
Yes, they do that.
Oh, man. He's bleeding from the nose and eyes. Oh, it's a lot. All right, you can keep me alive no matter how much damage my mortal form takes. And if I die, you'll just take the soul and overwrite someone else's soul with it. Gotcha. It's hard to keep it straight. Who am I? Was I always here? What's, oh boy. Oh man, it's heavy.
You'll adjust.
Yeah, no, I've done this before. I've played this game before. It's all good. I'm just gonna drink a lot.
That wasn't piss, it was just to be clear.
You made a
I know, I kind of made it sound like piss.
Anyway, people are crowding
Thea's
around.
milking herself.
Like people are crawling up the walls and stuff, and people are crawling over each other like animals, and they're getting near you.
Hello?
Yes, yeah, we can talk to you. We're here. Some people are just getting eyes on you. Eyes that see, eyes that are blind and crawling and eating and hungry. Hungry eyes.
I need something.
Of course you need something. Everyone needs something. That's the only reason gods come to man.
You...
That's a different person. Every time I'm talking, it's a different person.
She's just going to be looking at one of them, and you will give it to me.
Me? Yeah, I'll give you whatever you want. What do you want? Why is that guy sucking up to Thaa? And she's the nemesis. What's up with that guy? He thinks he's better. Is he going to be the high priest? Oh man, that guy sucks. They start talking shit about him, and then he slowly pulls out a revolver and puts it in his mouth.
I'll take it away.
Alright.
Someone else puts it in over.
A small child jumps him and starts chewing on his throat. You're not better than me! Eventually, a mass of them, a group of about 20 of them, gather around you, and they're in like different clothes and stuff. And they're like kind of edging out the other people, and it's like, what do you want? And who are you? What do you want?
I'm Thaa.
Okay, are you the literal Thaa or an abstract Thaa, or are you hallucination?
The literal.
Like the Nemesis, touchdown on the plane, Dendrolisks, genocide, the whole thing?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
That's a heavily colored
What do you want?
version.
We're trying to keep a train of thought here. What do you want?
I need information on the original Genesis project.
He's actually mouthing what you're saying almost before you're saying it. Like he's saying it ahead of time because he's picking up your thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we have information about that. That was Project Zero. That was the, what was that goddamn guy's name? I don't even remember anymore. But we have that. Why do you want it? Oh, right, you want to make more Acer. You want to make more Acer and Phase. Okay, so why would you want to make more? Because you like him the most, because you're very insecure. Yeah, alright, we got that. You're insecure about mortals because they'll always betray you, because no one loves you like Acer and Faye loves you, and that's giving you a bunch of complexes. Okay, yeah. Do you want therapy for any of that? No, you want more Acer and Phase. You think that by killing me, you'll stop the conversation going, but it won't. It won't.
It's the highway now. It's fine. You'll remember.
Alright, well, what do you have in exchange? Oh, yeah, you have a bunch of God parts. We could really use that to expand our network. I wonder how much you want to give. But you can't give too much because they belong to your other group, but no one's ever said in your group, but certain people have ownership over them. It's kind of a communal thing. So you could abuse their trust and take more than you would normally get and give them to us and say it was a group effort because the Genesis Project would make more racer in phase, and that would be super useful to your cause, even though no one will believe that. But it'll be a pretty good at-face thing to say, right? Yeah, I don't like Azazel either.
I would prefer not to betray people's trust.
Yeah, but you would do it.
For
I would
Acer.
prefer not.
Okay. All right. Well, what can you offer us? That's a very abstract question, so we're not going to pick up on that pretty quick. But what can you give? No, you know what we can offer. We need a repeater in the north. We're setting one up in the back colony. You haven't been to the back colony yet. It's great. We've been trading with them. We sent some of our faceless there. They're on a minor internetwork, but we could always set up more towers. Maybe in your city, the Dark City, sewer vampires.
Our city and any of our colonies that we've taken over do belong to us, so their cultures will be ours.
Yeah, but we can set up our repeaters there. And then we could preserve them in the hive mind.
That is fine, so long as they are still ours. So if they are on the network, but they are not suggesters to the mess of them.
The ant colony working in organized dis chaos.
That's not what it is.
No, it is. It's not like your ant colonies. It's all happening at once, and it's going really efficiently. These people don't have lives. Like, they do, but it's all in their head. Their physical bodies just kind of do whatever they need to do on a subconscious level.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they're not jesters and they get the point.
It will be like that when the towers go up. The whole world will be like that.
And I don't want it.
Well, we want it.
That's why you're the nemesis.
Want. We'll offer something else then. Come on.
I can't think of a single thing I could offer them that I don't want to.
I mean,
That's why it's
You're the
called
break
a
and
trade. You give things you want to things that want.
You're a break and murderer. Offer to murder something.
We're pretty good at killing breakers. We lure them into the network and they kill themselves.
They don't need parts.
because we tell them to.
But then they don't need parts.
We've exhausted our parts. This area doesn't have breakers that get too close to us.
Ooh, how about
They've learned that trick.
we set up a backdoor in other colony? They can get in. They have everything with other colonies. They trade. They can get us a backdoor there.
Yeah, if you declare war on another colony and set up our tower there so we can force them to be like us, that'd work. Who would you like to declare unlimited total war on? Azazel's voice is coming through the network, by the way.
Why?
Oh, there's a mass of them. They've all stacked themselves on top of each other to be as tall as Azazel, and they're wearing, like, clothing and paint on them to look like Azazel, and they're talking like him. We're basing him off your mind.
They're all here.
Like, there's people holding onto their limbs and stuff to build, like, a giant, like, limb diversion, like a people ladder, and, like, they're wearing clothing, and, like, it has, like, a goat head, and it's opening with people, like, flexing their legs and stuff.
This is kind of real. Oh my god. So you need shards.
Parts of reality.
We can do that.
Okay. Give us... And, like, they start screaming over how much is appropriate. And eventually, we want 2.
Okay.
That'll let us finish our newest tower in a new location.
Where's the new location?
They say immediately where it is. It's somewhere near the center. Now let's keep an eye
It's
on...
like, oh, it's in the back hallway. It's like, that's what I just fucking said I didn't want!
Oh, that's already been paid for. They're already setting up there.
Ah.
Yeah.
They know I'm gonna break that now.
Oh, that's fine. That'll just be you declaring war on them, and they'll come to a consensus on whether or not they're okay with that. And they'll be like, Thaa worship. She's the nemesis, right? Bring out the anti-Thaa weapons.
They settled a giant tree, burned it to the ground. Nape on it.
I mean, like, steps are starting to plan out, because you've said it, they've said it, they're planning, they're thinking, they're like, how could this go? And it's like, why don't we date her? Complete the social link and she'll love us. Like, it's spiraling. Imagine hundreds of people yelling about how to deal with this like we do, but all the time.
I would also like to set up... Don't put the hive mind in things we own.
Well, we've already made those trades, so that's going to happen. We're going to that back colony so we can have an outpost in the north that's protected and fertile.
But you know that would be a problem for us. And you
Not
know
our
that would
problem.
be a bad idea for you.
If you destroy it, we'll just declare blood war. Blood war! Blood war! Blood war!
And that would be a bad idea for you.
We're pretty sure we can convince the other ones to declare a blood war. You wouldn't declare a blood war on us, we would declare a blood war on you. It's a stalemate. We all have fail-safes against a blood war. Mutually assured destruction.
There are so many other places you could go that won't require action on our part.
Well, eventually, we're going to cover the whole world in mind. You're going to have to square up with that and make peace with it in one way or another.
Why not put that off as long as you can?
Because you might try to create some sort of plan to wipe us out from the face of the Epistle, which it kind of feels like you are. It feels like we're already at that stage. And you're just trying to play nice until you can gather enough resources to wipe us out and exterminate our way of life.
Your gears are already turning, so are ours.
Very true.
It feels like we're already at that stage right now. We're on survival mode.
Very well. I'll bring you the two things.
Perfect, and we'll give you the plans, and you'll be able to build your Eastern Faith Soul Collector network.
Yes.
Excellent.
I'm waiting.
I'm just standing there.
No, she literally said, I'm waiting.
Bring us the things.
Why does one have to be before the other?
Because you can travel instantly from there to here.
Fair.
Information travels faster than shards.
Right, but they both travel pretty fast.
Yeah, I can't bring the shards with me if I fucking
You just send them through transit. You have birds and miles flight and stuff. You just send them real quick.
You can put on little bees, have a whole network just fly over.
You do something. You can work it out. You're a god. You'll figure it out.
You just install a thicker
Ask
pipe.
Matael to drop it off.
You
I
pointed
really-
at Lothar.
Ask Matael to drop it off.
So dance kick it over there. Or again, install a thick, pipe of mycelium just to squeeze it through.
Maybe I should create some giant riding birds.
I will send a message to the city because I'm connected to all networks on
Of course
the
you are.
planet. Basically regarding this, I don't know who's in the city right now.
Oh man, you can read their databases because there's a lot of it's divinely protected, but a lot of it's not because they just can't afford that sort of hardware.
Mhm.
Oh man, they have mutually assured destruction weapons in here, and they have tabs on other colonies mutually assured destruction weapons for throwing them in the hive mind.
What exactly does that mean?
It means most of the colonies have a failsafe in case someone tries to brute force them. For instance, Manticore has the December Vault.
Mhm.
Unity, you can tell Unity has one of the old King of One Mind forms on hand.
I knew that already. They told me that.
Yeah, but it's actually there. That wasn't a bluff.
Out of character, the King of One Mind forms.
King of One Mind was this insane person that didn't have its own mind. Its brain was held together by the hive mind, so he'd do whatever the hive mind wanted in an unstructured democratic way. Unfortunately, one time him, the Overgod, came down in Jesus form, and that took the form of a pinnacle elf after they'd been extinct, and they used his blood to make a single clone slug for the King of One Mind that was a hyper elf. So it's a hyper elf that's insane.
Oh my god.
That also has like 30 levels of rogue.
Nice.
That's super bad.
Yeah, they have the last one in cold storage, not connected to the hive mind because it's technically in a state of living death. But if they were to crack that vault, he'd be free, and they would have no way to stop him. They could not control him. He would just do whatever the hive mind wanted at the moment, and the hive mind does not want to do most of the things they want to do at any one given moment. Like, they do a lot of social engineering to keep themselves level. This is level. The King of One Mind is not. He will just do whatever they want, whoever screams loud enough.
Okay.
And that guy is shooting himself because no one liked him.
Who's in the city?
Who's in the city right now?
Me and him.
I mean, you don't even have to ask us. You can just like your guys probably have access to the vault. Your Acerins probably have access to the vault.
Okay. Fair.
All right, Acer picks up the phone. Hello, Mom.
Hello. I need you to take two.
Is there a giant man in... Is there like 100 people dressed up like a goat? Oh, you're at Unity, it looks like.
Yes.
Ah, man, glad I'm not there. Oh, I am. Oh, I know that look. I see that look in the mirror sometimes. Oof. Rough times for him. You should wipe his mind.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, that one's going bad. That one's going funny. Kill him and put him in another soul. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, God. How can I help?
I need you to retrieve two of the... What do we call them shards? What
Shards, reality parts.
Yeah. Two of
God
the
particles.
shards. And send them this way.
To... Oh, okay, you're in the Badlands on that... Oh, that's where the Gamma territory was. Okay, yeah, I can get it there. We will send it with some of the Marquis travel machines.
Excellent.
All right.
How long will that take?
Can I get back to you on that?
Very well.
All right. He hangs up. Hey, you got a call from Acer and Thaa.
Yes, hello.
This Acer and Tha's eyes are a lot larger, and his mouth is small, kind of like a gray alien.
Oh, lovely.
Hey, God! Could you use your powers of industry to make a subsonic travel jet? Or a rocket?
He just kind of glances over at the table. He's like, done. What can I do for you?
I need to load some of the God particles into it and send them to Thaa. She's currently doing trade in the Badlands with the Unity Broadcast Network.
I figured it's only two.
Unfortunately.
She figured it's only two.
They're shared amongst us. I can't see why not.
Perfect. I just need the rocket to get it there fast.
Oh, that can be what right.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, he just takes them out of like the tray he's been like researching, just shoves them in.
Feinstering this?
What's up?
What?
I didn't hear that.
The way you described it made it sound like
You were snorting them?
no, Finster from
Finster?
from
Power
Power
Rangers?
Rangers. Like that machine is what was happening. You're like, I mean, not no.
Yeah, he's probably at like a workshop, and he has them because he experiments on them all the time. So it's like, okay,
You're prodding at them. They're parts of reality.
yeah.
All right. Acer texts you back. Less than 4 hours.
Excellent.
All right. No time at all passes for you because, what is time to a god?
You blink and you
And-
miss it.
Rocket, missile coming down, a bunch of lasers point at it, but they give it an ocular pat down and determine it's not a threat, and they don't shoot it out of the sky. The rocket part, blows away. It's a little module with a parachute. It falls at your feet.
There is
Let's
a
land it.
sympathies / get better soon card in there as well, and signed with a marquee.
It's painted in red and black with like little fang designs on it.
He's landed his fangs.
All right, one guy reaches out, and another guy takes a gun and shoots that guy in the face. It's like unlimited power, and like they haul that one away, and they just put it on the ground. Just put it on the ground. All right, let's move this conversation somewhere else. And like another guy over like 30 yards away starts waving at you. Over here. Just let it sort itself out. Over here. Yep. We're walking. There we go. And you just hear a sound of violence behind you. Don't look back. It's fine. We'll sort that one out. All right. Here is a digital drive. Energon Tech with the information you want on it.
I'll scan it for the information.
Oh yeah, it's all in there.
Okay. I do want to. I'm not just gonna not fucking count the money.
That's fine. Do you take the drive?
Yeah.
All right. You have everything you want. Well, no, that's impossible. You have everything you want at this moment. And we have one of the things we want at this moment. The transaction is complete.
Say nods.
All right. He takes out a pill and takes it and starts frothing and drops dead.
There's no bomb in here or anything.
No.
Okay. I figured I'd check.
Don't worry, you have so much health pool, and you're immortal, as you said, so...
Yeah, still.
Oh
I don't want
no.
them to have my body. Fuck these guys. Very well.
You say it aloud in your mind.
Yeah.
He's just...
I don't even know why they did that.
It's hard. Someone's like, he's a spy, he's working for the government, he's secret, he's a traitor. You should repay your salary and then kill yourself. And
It's
he's
the
like,
faction.
no, yep, doing it. Trying to go.
There
It's the
is
faction.
no government.
It's the faction policy. It's the other ones did it too. It's anyone who deals with the god, they dispose of the person because you could have used influencing gifts on it.
Yeah. I mean,
They do that a
paint
lot.
it.
It's funny because none of us have people influencing, like,
No,
except
none
for
of us
freedom.
have.
Literally,
You-
except for freedom.
You have people infiltrate the government. They are
Behind
fighting people like
there's
you.
there's
Like
bullet
one very minor
fights going
enemy.
on. There's a guy on his
I don't
knees
care.
screaming at the top of his lungs, tearing his shirt off, and the shards are there on the ground.
You know what I really want to do?
Like,
This
it's
is such a garbage
I want you to
place.
create an artifact with the word of madness.
a big nightmare.
Can't. The word itself.
Like, this is like...
They lose about
That's
1%
all.
of their population
No.
every time something big
'cause
happens from...
The reason is because
They call
anyone
it
is-
signal
anything that takes
feedback.
the telepathic
Like, sometimes there's feedback from the mic being too
Influences
close to the
damage.
speakers. And that's just how they live. But who they were as a person, how they'll be remembered, will live forever in the hive mind.
This is such a This is like...
Also, their body and soul gets recycled into other things.
This is like my least favorite fucking one so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on the ground crying into their eyes, screaming at the top of their lungs in absolute agony and stuff, and it's just... Other people are carrying on with the workday.
I could just
Even though I'm a god, I don't have... Because I can split my consciousness into many consciousnesses.
Yeah.
Can I do that to influence the what everyone's thinking?
You could start to try, you'd go into opposition against the hive mind, which is a divine thing.
Okay. So
It'll be a
probably
problem.
work.
It would be some sort of parasite god if I were to give it stats, but without a physical body. Some sort of big, angry parasite god that feeds off its own people.
See, it'll be just easier. Just take some of the broodlings, like a couple thousand of them, toss them in.
Oh, they need to
integrate this.
They eat them alive. They do mimetic brain restructuring and like Black Ops, Black Bag, like hypnosis and propaganda to all of their members. They would eat them.
I desperately want to have an artifact that causes the madness word, where anyone who reads your mind takes straight damage.
Wouldn't really work on the Unity network. It works on a different principle. Like
the
Unity network
is
works on
broken.
undead. It only works on sapient things. So if you're undead or a robot, as long as you're sapient, you're in the network. But it's not them reading your mind. It's your surface thoughts are in the pool.
I mean, probably if
And
you
even long after your body dies. your
Okay,
surface
I still
thoughts
want to go to the network and slap them with the mimetic madness power. They're just like, and just watch that just.
It'd be treated as an infection, and yeah, things would happen. It would go weird. It would go weird really fast. Madness God would have some influence over the Unity broadcast network. They want to set this hive mind across the whole world too.
Yeah.
They want this to be what the whole world was like, because it used to be like this. It used to be perfect.
It did not used to be like
And
this.
you might be able to.
Well, it's been
do something.
damaged, and it's not working as efficiently as it
Freedom,
first
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Because
The whole campaign thing used to be in the hive mind.
yeah,
And
but
it
it
was
was just
perfect.
a normal world. They weren't like this. The culture was not
I mean, they're
this.
still struggling. They're still setting up shops. So you know.
Yeah, well, it's because there's not a big enough sample population.
Yeah.
The hive mind was empowered by diversity of thought. Because there was every sapient thing inside of it across the entire world, there was a nice middle average that got pulled through a median, and that made everything normal. But everyone in the hive mind right now is either a Neolithic person from the past who doesn't understand what's going on and is having huge problems in their day-to-day lives, or they're shell-shocked survivors of a future war that genocided their own world. So the median average is PTSD victim. Don't go to the hive mind. But they're like, no, once we take over the whole world, it'll mellow out.
Although they're like, oh, you're probably gonna want to wipe us out or whatever, and it's like, yeah, good instincts.
Good instincts, cool.
Lothar's would be like, ah yes, the new factions. They have developed one strategy at the end, so they are a troubled people. But they are still people. Except the Unity. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Whoa. Alright, you leave the Unity and you all gather back up in the Dark City. Well, let's change soundtracks, gang.
Yeah, that one, Acerin. I'll
My
Come out of his misery.
Purge and recycle.
He's like tearing off his shirt,
Brain
screaming
damage.
at the sky, banging his fist against the wall, crying out for a nemesis he never had.
I'll just like pick him up like wedding style, like baby, and so take him out of the hive mind.
Baby wedding? What?
No,
Like cradling a newborn.
yeah, like you pick
Okay,
people
yeah,
up
yeah.
like this is like the bridal, like you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, you're picking him up with your arms.
But yeah, I just want to make it clear that it's not like a fucking romantic thing. So yeah, take him out of the hive mind. I'm just gonna
Break his neck, steal his soul.
yeah,
Alright.
take his soul.
Time to recycle.
put his body back in the thing he was in, because it probably melts them down.
Yeah, it does. Melts him down to food.
He was broken.
Yeah. The people here ask that once you put your body back in storage to send down the racer, so they can freeze them.
Of course.
All right. Praise God and their infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge. Goblin in the background. Teeth. 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 Teeth.
Well, he worships me, so I'm not gonna like.
I mean,
Wait,
he
so
worships
we can see
you,
the conflict.
which means you can just snap and he'll die.
Yeah, you
Horrible
just
death.
feel like, kill my worshiper.
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah,
can just do that, but it's like he's my worshiper, so I don't want to.
But-
But also he's a goblin, and they're
Have
terrible.
him die for you. Take his soul and turn him into an Azerin. That way he won't be.
Oh, they're all ready. They all pull out their cyanide capsules if you want.
I need caretakers here.
Pardon?
I need caretakers here.
Alright.
Not everyone has to be an Azerin. I mean, like,
I
why
mean,
not?
the
But not
goblins.
everyone has to be an Azerin.
No, they put away their cyanide capsules.
Another day.
Very well. Good service.
We only exist to worship you.
5 stars.
I will, fold myself back into the tree.
Take that pose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All four
and
arms.
click. You're, oh, I guess you'll send the hard drive on the return rocket.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you want the physical drive.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
Yeah, it'll take a longer time to get there because it's a smaller rocket, so that's fine. So, yeah, you're back in Dark City. Boop. All your Acerins are there.
All of them?
Like, yeah, they hang out in the
The
Undercity.
vast
Why wouldn't
majority.
they?
It's just like...
There's a few hundred, there's probably a few thousand of them down here just hanging out in that big, giant earthen cavern that is your, domain.
One of you will need to go to this location to be put into storage.
Sure thing, Mom. You ruffle her hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, you all had a fun little side adventure amongst yourselves, and now you're back together, stronger together. From my cold, dead hands.
What?
It's just a phrase that some of your worshippers say. Not your worshippers, just in general.
That's just such a fucking weird thing to
Thou
say. Like,
shalt
if it was
die.
if it was his worshippers that said that, that'd be really cool.
Probably.
It's like you
They don't understand the context.
It's like you only get this over my dead body, but they're already dead. So like it's actually they're saying it as they're doing an actual trade. That actually would be really cute.
Loving each other through gritted
Vampires
teeth.
need to do that.
I'm assuming you all gather up in one of your many places in the city. Maybe look at the skyline.
Hello, everyone.
So Crimson, some new vampires showed up as I pull out the cage with a little rock thing.
Oh,
From
that word really gets, it's gotten really loose, I see.
Yeah, the velvet sky.
Kind of pulls one out, turns it around in his fingers, feeds a drop of blood, vitae.
Pardon? Oh, what? Sorry?
I need one of
You
the
zoned
vampire
out for a minute.
I'm
there.
sorry, I zoned out. I do it sometimes. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, he was just turning like the little rock vampire around in his fingers, like checking it out, feeding it a drop of vitae.
Oh man, it's bloodbound to you at level 1.
Oh, excellent.
That's how that works.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? Sure, why not? That's low magic. That's Gurnlocken.
It's infected. It has my blood now. So if I drop it back into it, will like all the others eat it or something? So I don't have
They
to-
start smelling it like it's not one of them and stuff, but they don't really bother it. Just like vampires in real life don't bother bloodbound vampires.
Yeah, he casually like slits a finger and just kind of drips blood into it while talking with everyone else. Have we learned anything new?
I've learned how to expand my Genesis project.
Oh, congratulations.
The core concept of how your vampires...
Gather.
Yeah, Capnos, were they?
Catnos.
Capnos, yes.
My sympathies that you had to deal with, well...
Yes, they are a mess. I don't... Was I ever here when the Highline was existing? I think so.
Yeah, you were around the Hive Mind. Like, the Hive Mind was set up in response to you.
Oh, right.
To unify the world against you, the Nemesis. And it was also pretty
I
okay.
thought it was created to bring back,
Yeah, he had to riff on that because you were the perfect thing to, like, use as, like, oh, you have to stop her or
Oh,
else
okay.
the world will end. It was there when you were sent to the Far Realms.
Yes.
Fighting you because it was animate.
very big mess. It didn't used to be that way, but they are... I hate them. They're terrible.
You spoke with Unity?
Yes.
They're setting up a... Well, they've established trade with one of our satellite cities.
Yes, apparently they are going to be setting up one of their towers, which is terrible because I don't like the people there like them. But if we destroy that tower, they're going to throw a temper tantrum and release a weapon that'll just destroy everything.
So sabotage. Make it look like it's not our doing.
Or we go directly after it and destroy the weapon.
It would be in the very center of their base, at the very bottom, difficult to find. Also, it's a person.
Are you sure that they would release the weapon just in retaliation for destroying the tower?
Well, they said it would be total
like
war.
But total war is different than them releasing their doomsday weapon. And we're gonna enter into conflict with them eventually.
I was kind of hoping to put it off until we were stronger. I tried to convince them to not put their things where we want our things. And, like, put it off until later, but then they're like, well, no, because...
What if we put a stronger signal? Will that interfere with their signal?
That may be Mateo's forte. She may be able to protect them from the effects of the hive mind.
That's true.
Possibly. I'm not sure. It's a very... No one could figure out how to get around it before.
We could look at combining our gifts.
But we are,
using freedom to network.
Precisely. Also, we are very, much more powerful than the standard, like, supermen that were around at the time.
But we also learned something else interesting from the Bat Colony.
Yes?
We were out there.
What is that place called? We can't just call it the Bat
The
Colony.
Dark Mount.
The Dark Mount.
Dark City, Dark Mount.
And what did you find out?
There's a movement starting, a rebellion in the Hyper-Elf Society. It's being spearheaded by a figurehead from the far north, a high priest of Shemzeroth who has cast off Shemzeroth out of the capital.
So she no longer is High Priest then?
No.
Also, the queen is now apparently like 30 feet tall around, and they've turned the... It is, they've industrialized their volcano.
She's been working.
Queen of the Hyper Elves?
No, the queen of the volcano. The lady of the queen of the Dark Mound.
Oh! Very well.
Stand
Very
back.
well.
That's...
Though they're doing the whole worship thing very well for us.
That's good.
Excellent.
Also, Helldivers.
What?
Yeah, one very odd group of my worshippers who've taken some liberties with the religion. We've got to work on that. We're fighting all sorts of things, and one of them was the drones that are used by the Helldivers, such to domesticate.
Okay.
Which is, it got some dog tags here. I don't know who they belong to or... but I don't know why they're operating this far north.
They're... Okay.
I mean, that other one was operating deep south, so they're all over there.
Not sure what the significance of that is. Circling back to this Shemzeroth person.
Mm-hmm.
She just kicked him out of the city? Or did she, like...
Yeah, she tricked him into eating some lotus leaves that trapped him in his own mind.
Oh, that's terrible. But... So she
Oh,
didn't...
that tracks. That tracks. Acer says he's drinking spider honey.
So she didn't just kick him out of the capital, she's defeated him and taken over, it sounds like.
More or less.
It's all my imprisonment.
And her goal is just to wage war on the Hyper Elves?
As far as we can tell.
Okay.
Oh wait, since he's maybe though a prisoner, you could just teleport there, Mr. God of Freedom. To free him.
Since he's a prisoner in his own mind.
Yeah?
I wonder if he's walking around in this, forgive me if I'm massively misunderstanding, this is a mental realm? Like a vision sort of realm?
Like the night broadcast maybe.
I think it's just like
Could you put
he's
him-
locked in a nightmare.
Could you
basically.
put him in the Unity network?
Why would you want to do that?
That might help him wake up.
You should definitely fuck with whatever has taken him out as an active player.
Let's just leave it as it is. We don't like him. He's a terrible person.
It would also explain
Yes.
why it took so long for him to die, long after his empire fell. It was like the second or third alignment before he was slain, long after Samoon ascended to godhood.
Someone simply finally put him out of his misery.
No, he was an active player. He was building an empire kind of swath across the land, and then he got into a fight with this monster king that was also doing the same thing, and they fought on the top of the world over the spark of Caparaka, and he was put down. Guess he was just asleep the whole time. That solves that little mystery.
Well, I guess we should pay them a visit, see what those rebels against the hyperelves are up to.
We could definitely possibly align with them.
With who?
The people who want to take down the
Rebels.
Hyper Elves. If they are actually that powerful, Shemdroth was the main religion in the world. If she has actually taken over the faction,
Yeah, it would be worth sending a delegation at least.
I mean, we could go next time. Sounds like an interesting place. It sounds important enough that we should go in person, and that's near our lackeys.
Yeah, I phrased that oddly. I meant that we would be the delegation.
Ah. Perfect.
what else?
What's up with your children?
What's up with them?
Well, they seem to be.
Disgusting?
Well,
That's
like from the top of the skyscraper, you're looking down, you're looking at two of them, and they're like wrestling in the middle of an alley, butting heads. They're like punching a building and stuff, and using the building to beat each other up.
They seem a little bit more. I mean, my vision is only 121, but they seem to be significantly larger.
Well, I infused them with some of my powers. They need to be stronger. Because when we fight a war, we need strong soldiers. One that are actually willing to die for the cause. And last time it seemed that, well, you want to preserve some human life, so...
Human?
Well, pirates.
Pirate life.
Pirate life. So, someone has to take the burden.
Okay, what are we going to do about the Unity setting up a repeater in Darkmount?
Sabotage it.
Oh,
Make
yes,
it look
yes.
like it isn't us.
That's right.
I would say we focus on them, sabotage every attempt they have to spread out, and find a way to deal with any manner of trickery they may bring out.
I'm not sure
Whoa,
if
correct.
they actually would believe that it's not us, considering I was just there, telling them not to put it there.
We can let them set up their tower and then just render it inoperable.
Exactly, yeah. If you can actually make them so it doesn't work on the people there, that's fantastic. That means that we can just let them set up their towers wherever, and we can just make people immune to
What
it.
if we hired some other faction to do it for us?
I was thinking if I won't deal with them, but perhaps one of we have something they want. But Manticore would be the obvious choice.
Or Woman in the Machine. They're mercenaries. They'll take money. Is it just like silver that's appearing next to Azazel?
I don't suppose you've ever heard of the issue of bringing in snakes to deal with frogs, yes? And then you have the snakes who are procreating constantly because they subsist on the frogs. So you bring in a badger to deal with those. Those procreate because they have plenty of food, so on and so on. You keep dealing with issues by bringing in something bigger, which also gets more powerful as a result.
Sounds like the natural progress of things. The strong eat the weak.
I think we should blow it up. I think we should
That's
utterly
not
destroy it,
nature.
and we should let everyone know that we did it.
I mean,
They, in no uncertain terms, stated that would mean we are at war with them.
What if we disable it in such a way that they don't know anything is going on? There's something there constantly generating conversation and thought. It's almost as if they did install it correctly and they're hearing it. A
I could
random
do that.
generator.
I could do that.
what, like make a fake bat colony?
Yeah, that's
Make fake minds. I can definitely do that with my.
You know-
Fake citizens?
I couldn't help but get an idea and steal it from Azazel. What if we make these, you ever talk to an engineer, a scientist, and a doctor, and they talk about how to operate on someone, and the first thing they ask is what the patient's like? The doctor asks, like, all the stuff about their history, the technician asks what's wrong with them, and the engineer assumes that the patient is a perfect sphere that's the same all the way through. You ever hear that one?
Yeah.
No.
All right. It's an engineering thing. You know all about it. It's not. Anyway, what if we just make worshippers that are cubes, that are worshippers all the way through, and make 1 million of them, and put them in the hive mind, and make it sound like they're the bat colony inside their own brain?
That sound. But if we're making worshippers, wouldn't we be using souls and such?
Well, yeah, but like, he points down to the goats and how right now they're currently rutting, and eventually one of them will give birth in like a couple of weeks. It's like, it's not hard to make souls. Come on.
I mean, fertility.
let's make them very. The
He is an awful
basest
fertility
souls
god.
possible.
I don't mean awful like you're bad at it. I just mean like awe-inspiring fertility god.
Let's make them the basest souls possible, ones that have endless conversations about stupid things that'll appease the hive mind.
And we'll put him in a box.
Yes.
A glass box. Does it? I don't think Matt Hale, she's about that kind of slavery. She's about freedom of mobility.
I'm
Just
gonna be
like
the
you
cube.
Put them in a box.
A glass box.
We'll give it legs. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll put him on a giant platform, and the whole box platform can like move around on a track.
I'm just saying, instead of actual souls, just a generator that's constantly making conversation.
No, precisely. If we're not using souls, then it's just thoughts. It's fine. I can probably do that easily. Can I, Devin?
Do what?
AI, yes you can.
Like I'm an AI.
It's the same thing as making more people. If they have souls, then it'll show up in the hive
But I
mind.
don't want souls. I want thoughts.
Well, if they're sapient enough, they'll get souls, so it has to be.
Mm.
You can't just put a robot on there that doesn't think. It won't pick up in the hive mind. That's why
Right.
cows aren't on the
It's
hive mind.
specifically for sentient things that are like actually
Sapient.
alive. Well,
What if it was?
I
Some of
think
those.
they're doing something that they know is tantamount to a declaration of war, and they're hoping that we're just soft enough to take it.
Exactly. This if
No,
every
it's like
time they
chicken.
expand near our near our territory, they just say they're going to use this super weapon, and we back off, the other factions will come and they will make similar demands, will they not?
We could always just go to the Dark Mound, behead all of them, and send their heads back in boxes. I'm just saying it's a
All
possibility.
Dark Mount or just the Unity people?
The Unity people and whoever's brilliant idea it was at the Dark Mound to make this agreement.
What are the Queen's
Please-
idea?
It was the Queen, but to be fair to the Queen, I doubt she knew.
The scope of what she was doing.
No, they have a very good marketing program in place that doesn't really let people understand what it is.
I mean, wasn't she under their influence
Yeah, should
when
we
we found her first time?
We should really inform her just what they did, that it was them who was responsible for attempting to plant those thoughts into the colony.
But then
in the first
she'll
place.
know that it wasn't us sending the night broadcast, and that might shut her.
She figured that out decades ago, guys.
Oh.
She's not an idiot.
Yeah.
My problem is that I agree with Mattel and Lothar about it makes us seem weak. But also, I don't think we're actually strong enough to fight them.
I don't think Unity is strong enough to fight us either. Or at least not to make such an aggressive move to take out someone else that's close to other major players. Like, how would Manticore respond?
Let me take some philosophy from Manticore. If we do this and destroy it, and we don't plan an invasion, we don't march in their territory, we destroy their little toys in the Dark Mountain, and we retreat back into ourselves. We'll wait until the hostility meter, the war declaration, times out. Yeah, good as new.
I
Simply as a warning, we
suggest
destroy
it from what you gave in the conversation. I'm assuming you did get a mostly accurate one. It also seemed that they would try and convince the other factions. Perhaps we should make it known that this is only that this destruction was only for impinging on an area we considered our territory.
Oh, I'm sure they'd get the message.
Another option would be to keep having things happen in the hive mind. Every time anything big happens, they said they lose 1% of their population. If we can keep doing that, they'll just wipe themselves out.
Feed it sociopaths.
Yes.
Feed it the mad.
Oh, you want to watch out for that. I guess Acer says that. Whoa! Don't feed them sociopaths. Sociopaths are really good at stabilizing the hive mind's internal chaos because they don't have feelings.
What matter mental illness would?
Mental illness usually just gets corrected by the hive mind because the hive mind overwrites it. Like you send in someone who has Alzheimer's, they'll start remembering things all day, every day, and they'll be fine. The hive mind self-corrects for that.
But so sending in individual people may not be a thing, may not also be big enough. But they did say when anything big happens. I'm trying to think of things that we could send that...
If we wanted a more peaceful...
Pneumatic diseases? Are you alien disease?
I don't think those work in the hive mind. They...
I mean, can they stop themselves from thinking about problems?
If it was one. Another thought, if you wanted to be less aggressive, let them have it in a way that would not destroy the hive mind. Could the connection be made one way?
What do you mean?
No communication with them directly into the hive mind, but the thoughts of the hive mind would be broadcast. No communication from the hive mind, but communication from the mound would be broadcast to them.
Oh.
It would be non-intrusive, and they don't have any secrets of worth.
Possibly, although I'm not sure, and also the fact that they wouldn't be thinking in a way that shows that they're all together might give it away.
Well, they can give it away, but we haven't destroyed their artifact.
We've altered it. This is tricky shit that they'd immediately catch on to. It's...
Maybe not immediately, but the hive mind's... It's not like how you're probably imagining it, just because it's poorly defined. It's something the gods made. Like the big G gods. All of them were forced by him to put this together, so it's a large sort of entity that's almost like an aspect of him that was made. It's like a reverse entropy field.
Is it just thought?
Yeah, it's like a gestalt of all the divinities being forward. You know how the Pinnacle are really powerful because Faust and Fui had a hand in it? That's what the hive mind's like, but for every divinity in the Epistle and him putting their hand in it. It's almost like it's another world that the tower taps you into. It fills... It's like a big empty cave, and the water is your brain, that it just fills in constantly once you're connected to it. And we were back.
Well,
Your idea to add more members that would even it out might be worthwhile. It's good to think about how to destroy them because they're not like us and we want to destroy our enemies, but if you were to just keep adding members, the hive mind would stabilize. It needs an average, and the average right now are just damaged people. People who are full of scar tissue.
So if we make the average people who worship us...
Oh, that could work. That could work, but you need an average that isn't special. That's how the hive mind worked back when it was worldwide. It was
this is from
everyone.
This was in one of those books on probability, a non-biased statistical.
it's a wisdom of the crowds thing.
Right, but in the Epistle, not everyone worshipped the gods. Not everyone was a war-torn survivor. Not everyone was like this. So they didn't have strong feelings one way or another. So the middle of the hive mind, the one that kind of delegated what people were thinking of or conversing about or were really emotional about, was an average person.
Yes, also if we make the hive
If you make them
mind,
worshippers,
worship
they'll
us,
just
kill everyone. They'll kill
Could you-
the people that are worshipping Azazel if they were...
the literal line they will say. I can predict this line, by the way. It'll be, "I'll kill you to any other worshiper but the main worshiper at the time, and then myself." That's exactly what they'll do.
Okay.
I have a thought. You have the powers of creating life, of
Yes.
seemingly infinite variety, and artifice. Could you not create them in an artifact, perhaps with assistance from the Count and his ability to engineer, something that would help them self-stabilize, that would create whatever they needed to figure what they needed to stabilize, and create it temporarily?
They just need more members to stabilize. So if we create...
No, but an artifact could generate such a thing.
More
Like a
people?
people-making machine?
Not even a people-making machine, a thought-making machine.
Well,
whatever
mind-making
thoughts
machine.
would be.
No, we've been over this though. We need souls.
Yeah.
Like they can't just
It's
be
not
thoughts. It needs
just-
to have souls.
You don't need souls. You shouldn't.
You absolutely do need souls. Souls will not... Things that don't have souls don't go on the hive.
Yeah.
You could use celestial. Can we not create something that defies all reality with celestial shards?
Right, but the hive mind is very specific what gets into it. The hive mind's been around since before we tried to take over the Epistle. It predates. It came from that.
So
time
they would
period.
not accept our assistance
I mean-
if we offered.
No, not your assistance. You're missing. You're missing. I'm sorry. I'm not helping. The hive mind has never been cracked. It's never been altered. It just can't. For some reason, whatever him put into it made it impermeable. So you can't change its nature. But that means its nature is predictable. That means we know how to handle it. They just need more people. If you want to do this the non-genocide route, he looks at you all suspiciously. Because in your hearts, you know, you kind of want to do the genocide route. Just give them more people. Like a few million, 10, 50 million people. It'll put it right in the middle, and they'll stop being so goddamned crazy. They'll get rational. They'll get reasonable. They'll have empathy again. They won't eat each other.
Will, if we do this, and they do spread the hive mind to the entire world, will it be like it was before, where it's just normal? Everyone's just being who they are.
It'll just be a village of people just hanging out, talking. They'll be like, oh, yeah, you don't want our tower in there? Why not? And you'll be like, well, I don't see a reason not to have the tower. The tower is actually really normal right now. It would solve every problem you're having. They just need more people.
Yes, because there's nothing inherently bad about your thoughts being in the open. It's actually quite,
Liberating.
Except it affects us too. I'm not big on that.
oh,
Right, but it's your surface thoughts. It's not like your deepest, darkest secrets. It's what you're thinking at the time. Like, if I'm talking, I'm thinking about what I'm saying. And that propagates to the hive.
It means we have to be guarded all the time though, because when we're having a casual conversation, that's constant state secrets getting out.
Yeah, but
But so is
honestly,
from everybody else.
the previous societies that were at war with each other and were fighting, and the Supermen couldn't get out of it. Remember the Supermen we were talking about? The ones that, like, were the big...
Yeah.
And watch how that world ended.
It worked really well. The entire world coordinated in getting their plans accomplished. The hive mind never made war against the countries more vicious.
Yeah,
In a weird way that I don't have the professionalism to describe, it fixed a lot of problems with how states communicated.
yeah, the hive mind doesn't have an agenda on its own.
No,
It just whatever is
in a
good with.
weird way, it discouraged a lot of the open, mutually assured destruction tactics because people didn't want to kill themselves or people on the hive mind.
Yeah,
It
because
put a face to all of the faceless soldiers.
yeah, because if you kill someone, you feel their pain, and so on. So
also, it's very difficult for people to adjust to, actually. The normal mortals tend to have a very big problem. They will go into comas or they will go mad. They do eventually adjust, but it does cause great upheaval when it's originally installed. That is also something we need to keep in mind.
Right now, they're isolated to like 2 hexes on the map. He brings up the hex map of the world. There are like 2 or 3 hexes in that part of the world. It takes them forever to build repeaters. If you stabilize them and leave them alone, then those hexes will be fine. Just tell them, no, fuck you, you can't be in our capital city. And they'll be like, oh, okay, we respect your boundaries. But they'll eventually want to expand as time goes on because the whole world was under the hive mind before. And your gods, you'll leave this mortal coil and go into your heavens and, orchestrate it from on high like you do, right? You're not going to stay here forever watching us all the time, right? You'll go to a godly realm and manage the universe so we don't all, die screaming like we did that last time.
Yes, but also
Then your
I'm
mind's going to be in the hive
fairly
mind.
certain I'm going to be the world by the end of this.
She's got her
I
own
am the
network.
network.
Why would we let theirs spread?
Yeah, and we can't just give them people. Like,
This is a.
how about
I'm in favor of just sending them packing.
How about we take some time to figure this out, deliberate on this, and come back next time?
Yes, that seems like the.
All right. Yeah, it's getting to the end of the night, listeners, so we're going to wrap it up. Yeah, that's the conversation. Should we wipe them out, or should we, stabilize them? That's where we're at this point. So, I was Devin,
Nicole.
Tyler?
Kevin.
Peter?
Mark?
and this is sponsored by Nobody, signing off.